here's Quinn. Hi. Oh, I can't hear you. Can you guys hear Quinn? Quinn always looks gorgeous as all hell. It's true. You can't hear Quinn either. Okay. I think this is what I need. Can't hear. Yeah, I can't hear you at all. Is that intentional? Oh, wait. Can you talk now? I don't hear you. Autumn, thanks for the follow. I can see it on my browser. Oh, wait. Can you talk now?
Justin?
I can hear you. I had the tab muted.
Oh, yeah, I do that. You always got to remember to do that. Hi.
I'm turning you
Hello.
up. Can you?
Turn me up? All right.
Yeah. How do y'all find Quinn's volume? Are they too quiet or do they need to be louder? I gotta adjust my slider. I can do that on my end.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
A little bit louder.
Hey, can you hear me? It's good.
Louder.
Is that good?
Okay.
Did it?
Much better. Okay.
Is that better?
Perfect.
I'm just kidding.
And can you all hear the music? How is the level
Are we
of
good
the,
now? I
of the
cannot hear
music?
you.
You can't hear me. Oh, now you can hear me.
Yeah, I can't hear you. Yeah.
Now, okay. I wonder. And just confirming, you guys don't hear me twice because my mic on my stream is open, but my mic on the webpage is also open for them. So I'm hoping, okay, mint. And confirm, because I'm going to be using this as like a podcast type stuff. Quinn is louder than the music.
Testing. Hello. Am I louder than the music?
Mint. Adding in our gorgeous Cassie next. I'm so excited.
Oh my god, hi.
Oh my god, hi.
Hi.
As thank you for your sub, I'm going to apologize to Cassie and to Quinn and when Mickey's here as well. I can't push to mute on stream together. So I'll be thinking
You're good.
back and forth. I apologize. I don't know how to do that unless I like pulled myself out of here and we were in Discord or something, but this is just less bandwidth on the stream.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you guys, can you all hear Cassie? Does Cassie
Hi.
just go up?
Hi, T. I don't know. I had to log off of your stream.
We can control each other's individual volumes, right? So I can see.
I've turned you both.
Click on those
Oh.
3 little dots. Yeah. There we go. Can you say something, Cassie? Also, hi. You sound
I'm a
great.
little parrot. I'm just like, oh, talk? Okay.
Cassie is good. Did y'all plan to yes, so we all plan to wear orange colors for it's Canada Day today, but because I don't celebrate Canada Day because I don't celebrate genocide, I wanted to let all of our stream team, we talked about this too, to let our Indigenous communities know that we stand with them, with the residential schools and finding all the mass graves in Canada. There shouldn't be a big celebration for Canada. We should be trying to be better and do better with our Indigenous communities. They deserve better funding. Reconciliation needs to happen. So we're trying to all wear orange in support because every child matters. And I'll back up so you can see my shirt. Every child matters.
Oh, now you didn't get us one of those.
I didn't know. Also, when you're buying things, make sure you're buying from Indigenous companies, support Indigenous companies, like make sure you're doing all the good stuff. We'll add Mickey in now. I see them over there as well. Ooh, look at that diva! Oh my god, stunning! so good. Listen, I 10 of 10 cheated, and I looked at you earlier, but I don't care. Does it look like I care? Nope.
Oh my god.
Oh, wait. Aha, that's okay.
So cute. You all look
Hi,
so stunning.
thank you.
and gorgeous.
Is everything on? I'm all good. Can you hear me and everything?
Yeah, I can hear.
Yeah.
How does Mickey's at full volume with everyone? Can you all hear Mickey perfectly? We're gonna dive in right away. Just want to make sure we're all sitting pretty.
Yeah, I turned you up a little bit on my end, but the guest volume. Oh, it said performance issues. What's going on? Y'all hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
No.
It can always be kind of crazy. Like the stream
Right.
together can sometimes be a little bit like buggy or weird, but it's such a great tool.
Thank you so much, T, for putting $5 towards our donation that benefits Palestine Children's Relief Fund. That is incredible. Thank you so much. Quinn is a little bit laggy. Hopefully it'll fix itself because we're all broadcasting through Twitch and then Twitch is putting it on OBS. So hopefully we're good. I'm not getting any alerts on my side, so we'll roll with it. We'll roll with it. Hope for the best. The LP is indeed working, y'all. Let's go. Okay, perfect. So before we start, I just want to let everybody know that this Pride Month, we are all members of Teamwork. You better work. We are a diverse and inclusive stream team here on Twitch, and we're queer focused, playing a lot of Microsoft games from World of Warcraft, Overwatch, Call of Duty, and we also support queer games such as Apex Legends or queer indie games that we can all dabble in. Queer is our focus, and we're out here, Hanies. That's it. That's the tea.
Period.
So we'll be raising money for the Palestine Children Relief Fund. Oh, I smacked my mic. I'm sorry. Nebraska chose this charity to raise money for the month of June, and she raised $265. So we're gonna try to hit 500 total as a team. This Pride Month, we collectively as a stream team raised over $4,000 for various charities. Cassie, just below me, raised over $250 for Equality Texas. Quinn raised a bunch of money, I don't know the number, for tabletop gaming. Mickey was part of the Rainbow Railroad Initiative, and for that we've raised over $3,000. So it has been an absolutely fantastic Pride season. Can Cassie be below me? Well,
Oh my god, always, Kate.
Ayo.
out there.
Ayo.
leaning.
Oh, it's like that.
My face is so red. I love this. Thank you.
What we're going to be doing, actually, one more thing I gotta check. No, it worked. Perfect. So today, I thought since Raider.io has been so kind and so generous to us, we wanted to throw something different for the World of Warcraft streams. World of Warcraft in general is centered around a lot of white, cis, straight men. And most conversations or interviews you see about World of Warcraft revolve around that category of human. And there's nothing wrong with that category of human, but there's more than just that exists in the world of Azeroth and within World of Warcraft. So I thought, let's do something different. Let's spice things up a little bit, because we all a little spicy in here. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce y'all to these legends, because you all deserve, if you don't know them, they're all tagged in the title. Hit them, follow them, love them, become one with their communities. Starting with Control-Alt-Quinn. Quinn is a hardcore gamer and World of Warcraft player. They have a love for all things classic and hardcore. If you check out their streams, you'll always see they play warriors, they play priests, they do it all. They do play the retail as well, new expansions. We had seen clips, I think last year, with the Smite song. Smite, Smite, Smite. Priest mains, priests are the best. Get into Quinn. Legend, iconic. Did I mention legend? Because literally a legend. Get in there. Get in there and love it.
You're gassing me up.
We're then gonna jump below me to the amazing and talented druid that we all know to love, Celestial Cassie. Cassie is a fantastic druid, mastering, I'm gonna say, all 4 specs of druid, playing feral, pushing to 3k IO as a feral druid, a non-meta spec, playing resto druid and dominating the healing charts. Also plays Moonkin, I want to see more Moonkin, but they play Moonkin as well. And they started their, well, they didn't start, they've played before, but now they're dipping their toes more into Bear Druid. And starting in the War Within, Cassie is going to be our mythic raid team bear tank. And we're super excited to go on this journey. Cassie is also going to be one of our raid leaders for Mythic. So I wanted to bring Cassie in because Cassie's got all that sass and charm, and we deserve to see it. And then jumping on over to, oh my god, is that a bird? Is that a plane? No, it's a hoe. Mickey Mirage. Mickey is like, when I tell you we stand versus queens, that's Mickey. Mickey is a dominant Mythic Plus player, going from 3K, 3100, 3200, and beyond on Shadow Priest, Disc Priest, Vengeance Demon Hunter. They've got an Og Voker who also plays Preservation, getting close to 3K on that character as well. If you want to find a Mythic Plus pusher, player, diva, that's Mickey. Mickey dominates that, and we love to see the versatility and all different specs and classes combined. Get into Mickey. Also, if it's not obvious, Mickey over there, also the transmog goddess. Goes into like all of the competitions with Raider.io, winning competitions in Raider.io, and just iconic behavior. We love to see it. And then there's me. I'm just here. No, I'm a Holy Priest main. I also play Moonkin and Bear Tank when I need to, and recently started in Shadow. I do keys. I have former cutting edge experience. I love playing classic and hardcore as well. But I'm just here to facilitate today. So we were talking, what do we want to do? We want to talk about the War Within. We want to have a Kiki. We want to have a group chat. And before I jump into that, in case I've missed anything, Quinn, Cassie, or Mickey, jump in. Do you want to tell chat about anything specific about y'all that I may have missed?
I want to like circle back to what you said at the beginning when you introduced all of us about how this space can be dominated by just let's not get into that part, but for us to be here and we're playing WoW, we found each other, especially queer folks, like, and black and brown, and just like from this like awesome diaspora of like individuals here on this platform, and we're doing this, we're playing WoW. Like, it's so cool. Like, I don't think I've ever in my life been a part of like such a great team of just folks who understood me to my core and respected me. And I don't know, it makes me kind of emotional, and I knew I would get emotional. I did that I say, I was like, I'm gonna cry. I will cry. Because to be in a group, a space with y'all, it's like an honor. Like, it truly is. It's something I've wanted my entire life. I've been playing WoW since like 2006. And to be with y'all and to be here and be like these like figureheads of this community, oh my gosh, what did you... That's it. That's all I gotta say. I had to get the love back. The space you created. So the space you created is just, there's no other space, and thank you for doing that and helping us all be seen, for real.
Thank you. The kindness. I can't handle that. Don't show emotion. I'm a stone cold bitch. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, I know. You made alliance, right? Just kidding.
Gnomes are the best. I will never turn away a gnome. Gnomes are always allowed in here. Gnomes can sit beside me. Mickey or Cassie, do you want to talk about anything that I may have missed on either of you?
No, I think I just agree with what Quinn said. I'm happy that the space exists. When I first started playing World of Warcraft, you know, I didn't know how I was going to fit in or where. So it's very nice to just find a space, especially as a creator as well as a player, just to like fit in and call home.
So sweet.
I definitely agree with those sentiments. I think it's a testament to the fact that we and people like us and unlike us as well in other ways have always been playing video games, and we've always been here. We've always been part of this this realm of gamers. But as the advent of internet has taken off, and as things people like us put their faces out there, and that they become the threads that tie the community together, so people do find each other and they feel less isolated in those environments. And so honestly, I agree with them. It's awesome that like we're at this day and age where now everybody does know, like they can look around and be like, oh, there are people like me who play these games, because we've all been doing this all at the same time this whole time, you know? Like it's like most people are like queer, BIPOC, any kind of minority group have been part of these games for as long as these games have been around. But now we have a place to be and be present and very visible and public and shining all around each other. So yeah, I'm really happy to be here. Thank you for asking me.
Well, thanks to all of you for jumping in too. Like that, this is huge, and I don't think work would exist without people and folks like y'all, because you all throw ideas in, you show up day after day after day doing your thing, and that is massive. One other thing I want to mention, because I think this is really important for visibility, is I am, my pronouns are he, him, identifies as cis male, but the rest of this panel are all non-binary. And I think that is incredible, because there is not enough, in my opinion, and I think this you'll probably agree with me, representation for non-binary streamers in the World of Warcraft scene. There's just not.
Yeah. Non-binary baddies are out.
We love
They're
to
out
see
here.
Out here.
Yup.
Out here.
We're the real life evokers. We're the real life Draknir.
Oh,
Like, and y'all can't handle it. Y'all can't handle it. But you gotta handle it. You can't,
Facts.
but you're gonna.
So with that, let's just like dive in. So who has played any of the beta for the War Within? Has anybody dabbled?
I haven't. Not yet. I'm keeping some of
haven't.
it fresh and a spoiler, or what's it called? Like, I don't want to spoil it too much, even though I still follow the updates and content.
Fair.
I've only played beta just briefly to try out a Mythic Plus key because I can't turn away a good Mythic Plus. But that's I don't touch story spoilers because I do want to kind of keep that hidden for myself later.
Fair. I'm the same. I've done some dungeons and I've played around with some talent builds for priest specifically. I have been kind of side working on a little bit of my interpretation of a priest guide that's coming up for Holy Priest. I just haven't got it all finished yet because I got a million things to do, but I have played a little bit. Let's talk hero talents. I don't know how I feel about the hero talents coming out. So I've looked at Holy Priest a lot, and there's like one build for Holy Priest that is very, not a lot of buttons you get to press. A lot of it is passive, or like it repeats itself. And the other one is you're watching buff timers and you've got to do certain spells within these timers that your buff procs. And I'm starting to feel like the talent trees that the community wanted, these current hero talents are very bloated, but bloated in a passive. It's not a ton of interaction. It's either you're going to go real ham or everything is going to be passive. So I don't know that there was a need for hero talents. And I kind of feel like hero talents could have been like a patch, like a patch 2.0 or like the next big patch, instead of that being like a focus on an expansion. But I haven't looked at all of them. That was just my Holy Priest first interpretation. I don't know what you guys have thought about your specs and classes and how you're feeling with your hero talents.
I have only just barely started looking at hero talents. I think, at least for Bear in particular, I actually enjoy that there's basically an arcane build, and then there's the more like cat weaving feral build. And it seems like right now both are kind of competitive. It depends on if you want to do a lot of high risk, high reward or not. And I actually enjoy that. So I wonder if the problem with hero talents is the same problem that we have with a lot of class balancing, and that some classes get a lot of balance and reworks and attention and care, and other classes are just kind of given, do you want buffs? Have a buff.
Yeah, I actually agree with that. I think hero talents compound on the problem that over bloated talent trees already are and already have. And I think that's you bringing up Druid is a great example of how it can be done well, where it's like ideally you shouldn't have to pick one or the other hero talent in order for your class and your spec to be competitive in the content that you're playing. But as you're introducing player power into the hero trees, then the balancing becomes an issue and a lot. And there's certain trees, there's certain classes that have so many interactions in their tree that the hero talents then modify even further, that the balancing becomes more nightmarish. Where it's interesting that you had brought up the priest trees, Cell, because I actually think like what's interesting is like I don't like it when trees or talents or tier sets force you to take certain talents or spells or abilities, and so I almost rather wish that all the hero trees were more passive. But I don't know, because it's interesting to like have a new play style, but then what if that play style ends up being less like subpar? For example, the Demon Hunter, as it's shaping up as we get really close to the expansion, one of the hero trees is pretty much dead on arrival, and it's the one that everybody would want to play because it's more fun. But the other one's like really complicated, but it's like 30% higher in damage at on the beta right now, and so those kind of things is kind of concerning. I'm still of the mind that hero trees should have been a cosmetic feature, because I think making it player power tied to the expansion, the big signature, like the flagship of the expansion, which is the hero trees, that's going backwards in design. We saw that with the soul binds and Shadowlands and Azerite armor, and it constantly has always been criticized by players that they don't like these features dominating how they get to play the game. And I thought we were moving away from that through Dragonflight, so then to bring it back here is kind of interesting, where you feel identified with one hero talent, but you can't take that because it's just not as strong as the other one. So in all sorts of content, you're just gimping yourself so that you can be the hero that you want to be, which takes the role playing out of the RPG.
Valid points.
So to add to all of this, so I'll lean into like what Celeste or Cassie said. I try to avoid things that I'm not quite ready to jump into, because I'm a slow learner and I feel like there's things I'm still recovering from the past. Like, that's why I played lots of classic and stuff. Like, I'm one of those sweats. And when Mick was talking about like we're back to this point, right? We're right back here to where we were. We're like, what's that stuff irks me, and I don't deal with it well emotionally. I need to take my time to digest something and heal from the things that I wasn't really happy for. But that's all I'm gonna put, because I don't want to like just get too deep into it and like learn spoilers or like what's going on. I will adamantly avoid certain things. I really will, just because I'm like, I know I'll start to feel some kind of way.
Fair. It's fair and valid.
Existentialism. I was like, you know, like it is. Like, for me, it's like existentialism. Like, oh my god, here we're back here talking about the same things that we talked about like 5 years ago, 3 years. And where's
Axe,
Olivia Rodrigo?
Axe, thank you for your $10 donation to the charity. That was very kind of you, and we all appreciate that so much. Thank you so much. Also, so like, I want to piggyback on the thought with the talent points. I had mentioned before, a lot feels very passive. I feel like they could cut out half of the talent trees, and like, why the hell do I have to spec into Leech? Like, why is that not just a passive ability at this point? Like, some of those points that you have to take to get to a certain spell, like, just make them baseline. Like, not as baseline as we had, like, I want to say in, like, the MOP, where you only had 3 spells, and you had to pick one of the 3 spells. Don't do that. That was, like, that was bad. But if you want to have some, like, moving around, like, cut those trees in half. Like, here's your baseline. You all get Leech. You can all have some extra versatility. Like, make your AoE heals. You can instant here. Have an extra 2 seconds. You don't got to spec into an extra 2-second hot. Like, just some certain things to make it feel like you have more control on what you're specializing in. That's what I'd like to see.
I think the pendulum swung too far in the other way from Shadowlands, where it was you have 4 rows and you pick 1, 2, or 3 on the rows, because you were just like, am I going to be needing more AoE, or do I want more priority damage? And that was like you know, like, these are your AoE options. How do you do your AoE? Do you do it like this or do you do it like that? And that is like essentially what still exists in these trees, but surrounding all of those big choices are tons of nodes that are just like, you get more versatility, or your button that should be doing things that button does only does it if you take these points. And I think it's because of the trees being so large that a lot of these nodes end up having to be low impact and kind of superfluous, because they have to fill it with something, you know. And you can't have 30 different choices throughout a tree that all interact gameplay. Like, you can't have a new spell for each node, otherwise people will be like, what the hell? Like, what is all this? Like, this is it's overwhelming, and also no, there's not even enough space on my action bars, sister, like, you know. But yeah, so I don't know exactly the solution. I think parsing down the trees as well is a better thing, which this expansion is going in the opposite direction by making the trees, they're adding on a new tree on top of the tree. So,
Right.
I don't know.
Right. Axe just wrote in the chat saying, having played Kata, they've gone so far off the railroad tracks from how Specs used to play. They literally have.
Yeah.
But
Can
like,
I tap in here?
Yeah.
Oh, can I tap in?
Yeah.
Axe, I agree with you. That's when I was like, I had to like slow down. Was at Kata, especially as a warrior main. Like, I felt like I was forced to play and learn my character. It was hard. It was emotionally hard, and because I'm a sweat. But yeah, Kata was a huge change for me. And I know it's cataclysm, right? What is a cataclysm? Like textbook. It's
change. Real big change.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, literally change. But Kata, and then I played like up until I was playing consistent, because, you know, I'm getting all this everything all the time, but it just didn't feel the same. I feel like Kata changed a bunch for me that I'm still just like kind of processing through to this day.
It's all a process. Take your time.
Yes, it is. I'm trying, girl. I'm trying.
I will say the one change I'm waiting for is for them to make interrupts baseline.
Oh, please.
Please.
An option.
That druid tree is so ugly, because I have to go so far to get an interrupt as a resto druid that I just don't. We're not gonna.
Wait,
I'm not gonna get that.
Pause. So you have to go a different direction for an interrupt as a resto druid, right? What's that like? You have the option. I'm a holy priest. I don't get no option. I get a fear, and I get to put my head between my legs and kiss my asshole goodbye, because there's no kick for me.
Yeah, it's strange. It's strange.
Whoop.
I mean, there's
You could
there's a
reroll.
whole argument of like that Blizzard keeps saying that they don't want homogenization, but also it's like, it feels really bad not to have an interrupt, or to, like, in order to take your interrupt, because as a shadow priest, all priests have it bad. Like, as a shadow priest, you have to drop throughput or survivability to pick up the interrupt.
Right.
So it's like, I shouldn't have to do less damage so that I can do an interrupt when half of the game is based and balanced around, did that mob cast that one time? Oh, everyone's dead. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if the game wasn't like that, then dropping the kick would be like, okay, well, it would be nice to have this kick, but the healer can just throw a couple more hots out and we'll make it work. But it's not like that right now. It's not. That's just not how the game is structured. So
do you think that, like, this is gonna go into the next topic too a little bit? Like, Mythic Plus, that's why we all need kicks. Like, in a raid, you don't have to go a Shadow Priest specifically.
And I sure don't.
No, you don't. But in Keys, you're punished so much if you miss that one interrupt on that one spell. Or if you're pugging and you're not in comms communicating, then all four of you kick the same thing. And you're like, well, hold on, sister, we're going for a ride. You know, like... And
Get
now,
those immunities ready.
well, and now with the new changes, if you die in the War Within, you get penalized on your timer.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of a scary thought. Like, I think pugging is going to be very punishing in the War Within for Keys specifically. And I'm kind of a little nervous about that. But I agree. I would love to see kicks baseline across the board. I also think, in terms of the player, why do our tanks not all have hero or bloodlust? Like, I think that would help with comps and like who you're bringing to what, and every healer should get a battle res. Like,
Yeah.
Why the hell? So a warlock can do it, a death knight can do it, a druid can do it. Pallies can do it now.
Wait. Hold up. Healers don't have a battle res?
There's
Some
two
of them
healers that do, druid and paladin.
The rest don't.
Like at this
Yeah.
point, and I know people want their class fantasy, but I would argue, and I don't have these stats, this is my assumption, so maybe I'm dead ass wrong, but I would say 5-man content is probably the most popular PvE content.
Yeah.
So having that option to be able to play with everybody and not being like, ooh, we don't have a battle res. This is fine. Just no one die. Like
Priests don't
Yeah.
have a battle res. Priests.
No.
That's messed up.
Priests don't have a battle
That
res.
ain't
We
right.
also don't have an interrupt,
ain't
Quinn.
right.
We got nothing.
Right.
We get
No.
soup without the
Right.
meat and potatoes. We get
That
chicken
ain't
broth.
right.
That's what we get.
Take
Yeah.
me to jail.
Right.
That is wrong.
I
brutal.
Think, yeah. I think it's like these
What?
kind of things are so important to the structure of group, especially with 5-man content, that it doesn't make sense not to have it more homogenized. Scary word. In the way that like I think of another comparable. I think of Final Fantasy 14 a bit. They're different, of course, but they have limit breaks right throughout the dungeon. And so you each, based off of your role, you're able to use a limit break at various points that then does something. I think WoW could adopt that structure in its own way, in that tanks get to lust, healers get to battle res, and only healers can battle res, because now guess what? Now you solve, that's also helps solve the problem of why are there are keys with no healers. Like, well, if you don't have a healer, you don't have a battle res. Things like that. It's like these are gameplay elements that if you don't have it, you're putting yourself at a severe disadvantage. And then it's limiting what classes you can play or what classes your friends can play. And that just to me seems like it goes in the face of encouraging groups to log in and play the game and have a good time.
Yeah, valid.
Can I ask a question
Yeah.
for y'all's? How are y'all feeling about Season of Discovery? When there was like all these different changes to class where we could explore more. So I feel like I was watching you tap in. Like I came into your stream one day on the launch, like first Season of Discovery, and you're like, I don't know, and you were playing it like 2 weeks later because you're a WoW nerd. You always say that. We're like, I don't know, and then we jump in it. It's just something we do.
So Mickey
How
and
do
I
you
played.
feel? Like,
Mickey and I played 24 hours straight. We grinded that shit. I don't tell you
I'm
what.
sorry. What?
Yeah, we played a lot, and then
We got like to 23 hours, but what was it? Blazing Steps put us out. What was the place
Yeah.
that put us out?
that
It was real
swamp area, Swamposaurus area.
Swampish. Yeah, she put us out.
But like we did the raids, we did like the 10-man raiding of it. I enjoyed Season of Discovery. But I would like to see, and like this is gonna make a lot of people mad. I enjoyed Season of Discovery, but it was classic, right? It was slow. And then when I heard the Mop remix was coming out, I thought they were doing a Season of Discovery, but for Mop. And I was so excited. And then we got that shit that it was. And I know some folks love Mop remix,
Whoa!
but I would rather, I want to delete it.
Shots fired.
Like, I leveled one character and
Season of
said,
Discovery.
I'm sick the rest of these days. I'm not going back.
Yes.
I hate it. And some people love it, and I love that for them. But I was really anticipating a Season of Discovery type where I don't like WoW, where you walk in with your friends and you kill bosses in 30 seconds and move on. That, to me, that's not fun. That's like when you're overpowered in Diablo. I don't like that shit either. I'm out. Tap me out.
Mhm.
So I'm excited to see what they're going to do with SOD. I do think they made a mistake, though. There's 5 versions of World of Warcraft right now. And I feel the player base is very thinned out. Like, I like there's choices, especially at the end of a modern expansion. But it's thin. Like, trying to pug keys right now in retail is like pulling teeth. Like, it's so hard to pug key, especially if you're trying to do anything past a 10. Never mind. Like, it's rough. It's rough on those streets. But then there's a lot of folks playing Remix.
Yeah.
But then those characters also are stuck there until the event is done. So when they do get transferred over to retail, they're way far behind in gear. And then you've got your season discovery characters where like the season 4 is coming out right away. Right? Or is it out? No, it's coming out.
Yeah.
It's coming out still.
And those
one
are
of the things that always like gets me is like my community is always like hop into retail, Quinn. And I'm just like, I gotta like relearn everything that where y'all are at now. And Mop like helped me get into that. Remix was like, okay, this is what this was. Like, okay, I remember now. I've been playing classic. Like, you know what I mean? I've been stuck in classic, like, because it feels like home.
That's like totally fine. I think that's so valid. I think it's if like there's different strokes for different folks, as they say. And because your question was about Sod, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
my opinion of Sod was that I think that it was a great idea. I think it was a cool, fresh layer of paint on Classic. That, as a person who didn't experience Classic myself, and I didn't play when they have announced like Classic WoW originally, like the seasons, you know, or the servers. It was a really great way to get me in, right? And I was like, oh, I get to experience Classic, but it's a little bit more fresh. The thing I think is they should have went further with some of the powers, because some of the powers were not so like as the Shadow Priest. One of the powers was your dots now have the ability to crit. Okay, so that's
super exciting. Oh my god!
Yeah, and I was like, that's one of those things where right, like I scale with the stats that are on my gear now. Wow, so like a lot of those runes ended up being like quality of life things that I was just like, well, like, and there was other runes that were like just retail abilities that became quality of life for the specs put into Classic, which I'm like, that's awesome, because these classes, they made the game better, because you couldn't do that before. Like, you didn't have a way to do AoE or a this or a that, and now you can, which is awesome. But it did feel kind of bad, because I was like, well, if I'm like, what, you know what I mean? It wasn't, not all of it was very fresh or new or inventive. Some of it was just like, oh, this is that retail spell that you like, but now it's in Classic. And I'm like, okay, well, I could just go to this area in retail and fight these mobs too. Like, I could live action role play my way around Azeroth and walk an RP walk around the continent if I really wanted to. Nick, yeah, what's up?
Okay, so did you feel like what you just said? It's like I felt like they were looking at things that people wanted or complained about on forums.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
When it came to mages could heal, I think I've never played a mage in my life. Sorry, mages. Yeah. But in Sod, like, they could heal and do these things, and they were already making biscuits and all that other bullshit. But it was just like, oh yeah, like, cool.
Are they mages or are they cats making biscuits?
Right, like, meow, meow, meow.
You know what I'm talking about? What they do? They're like, making biscuits.
Well, I mean, but that's an interesting, that's a great example, because I think like healing mages is one of the more creative things they did do in Sod, where they completely introduced new spells and a whole new way to play mage, and that was transformative and fun, because that was what I thought Season Discovery was. But at the same time, and again, maybe I'm just a salty Shadow Priest, but they can make mages be able to be healers, but they can't make Shadow Priests able to be DPS. Like, because like for the beginning, for the first season, I only played the first season. It was like Shadow Priest was like a complete meme. It was so bad that it's like, okay, healers are a healing mage does more damage. Yeah. It's just
and what was that whole sleeping bag thing? Remember that? That's a quality of life thing. The sleeping bag, where you get the sleeping bag and then you. And you can like go to sleep everywhere.
We just got an anonymous donation for $50 for the charity. Thank you so much, Anonymous.
Thank you.
That was huge. Thank you so much. I wanted to jump in for Sod because Mickey was talking about Shadow Priest for like
we're getting nerdy in here.
But like, Warlock's able to tank? rogues able to tank, like that was
So
great.
cool.
And Spooky just wrote in chat, I'm sad they made raids more than 10 people in SOD. It made my guild quit playing because we don't have 20. Boom, like nail on a head. Like they should have left SOD all the raids 10 people. I think that was a big swing and a miss, like to go from 10 to 20, and then was it 40 in season 3, or did they keep it at 20? Like
it's not out yet, but I think right because
season 4 is 20 for sure, but it was rumored to be 40, but it's not. It's 20.
Yeah.
I just think
they reduced that.
I think 20 is too big, and I think the same thing in retail. 20 is too big. People now want to play with their friends. I had this rant earlier. I'm going to bring this back to retail. Sorry, Quinn. But I had this rant earlier on my stream today that, so like, I recognize I have a lot of privilege. I am a white, cisgendered male. I have a lot of privilege in that. But my queerness is something I'm not willing to let slide. And a lot of guilds are 20 people. If you're trying to find a guild, there's a lot of like queer jokes made that a lot of straight bros make. That make me feel uncomfortable. And I don't think it's right that I have to make myself feel uncomfortable to play at a higher level to play with these bros. And that toxicity is in every game you can possibly play. And I recognize that. But I'm literally paying money every month to play this game. I don't know why. My marginalization is that I'm queer, but I would like to see smaller raid sizes in retail that give a challenge. So like you could keep your mythic and your heroic, whatever you want to do. But like if they refuse to do mythic 10-man, why can't they give us like a challenge mode 10-man? Or something to do where I can play with my queer friends, or I can play with other people that you can feel safe in. Like when I do keys, and I've recently put this in my stream title, and it's been huge for me, is I've added in new players are welcome. I've had so many stories this past week, 2 weeks, about people are afraid to pug. People don't want, and that's not even in voice comms. That's because people yell at them. A brand new player did a heroic and got cussed out because they didn't know to give slow fall to a character who jumped off the side of a bridge to do a skip route. Like, the World of Warcraft community can be one of the most toxic places to be, especially in that pugging world. I want to see that change. And if that means that you could do 10-man content and not have to worry about that, then why are we not doing that? And I know there are groups out there where you can Google, where can I go? And there's organizations like Visage, wonderful. There's organizations like Black Mafia. There's organizations, I'm gonna say mine, Stream Team Work. Like, we're doing a lot of stuff to try to be inclusive, but you as a player shouldn't have to go to Google to try to find these resources. So why isn't Blizzard putting accessibility in with smaller sizes, or tools to be like, I'm looking specifically for the like queer people, BIPOC people, for women and gender minorities. Like, why are those tools not in the game so people can find their people and feel that community that WoW can bring? Like, WoW has a great community when you can eventually find those people, but having to outsource that seems stupid as hell.
Wild. It is wild. It is ridiculous. Sorry, it was bubbling out of my bosom. It was bubbling out of my bosom. I just all the feelings that I had right now.
All these bubbles.
No,
in
this
here.
is something so passionate to me. As like a non-binary individual, or just like as a femme perceived, like when people hear my voice or things like that in games, and all the things that I've done and played in my entire life, it's just like, it's so scary to do pickup groups. And I just wish, like, I do it, right? And I'll like silence or mute or blah, 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 blah. But we didn't even get voice comms for pickup groups until what? That was like Wrath of the Lich King, like end of Wrath of the Lich King. Before that, we were all just like vibing in Ventrilo. We were all in Vent. And that was even a weird thing, right? Like putting on like voice distortion just to like not get people weirdo predators and hate. And I just think about where we are now and how much WoW has been like a safe place for me and my identity to like play this different character. And like Azeroth is my home. Like when I think about home, I think about this space. And the fact that I feel like I can't sometimes be comfortable in my space is devastating. It's sucks. And everyone deserves to feel safe playing a game that makes them feel good. And I feel like WoW is doing a lot of things, or Blizzard's doing a lot of things to make that better. If like we can do like these pugs or whatever, or play for our teams, or make these smaller things, that should be the epicenter. Like that, the inclusion and the safety should be something that folks should get. I don't want to get into a group and then feel like I'm dealing with people who don't respect me, or saying hateful things, or misgendering me on purpose, which happens a lot. Like if you're in like a pug group, I don't know if you ever experienced, y'all, but like sometimes like being groups and I'm just like, hey, like we're doing this going fine, like the party's going smooth and all this stuff, and then someone will like say something to me and I'm like, that's not like, I would prefer this, and they're just like, okay, we got one of these, and like that energy is just like that should be a part of our random experience for pickup groups. That's just
Yeah.
how I feel. Like,
Yeah,
please,
and-
just I want to play the game. I'll give you my money. I'm paying. I did it for like
Right.
decades and just let me be here and feel good. Let me feel safe. We deserve that. Everyone deserves safety. All right, that's all I got to
And the
say.
worst part of that is like once you don't feel safe in a group, for me at least, that ruins my whole night. I'm like, okay, well, I'm done playing. I'm gonna go play Path of Exile. I'm gonna do something different. And that is like, it's like, damn, I really let someone ruin my whole night because of this. And that, I don't know. That's really hard for me, especially because I don't like to pug. I do it, and then someone says something stupid like that, and it's like, cool, now I can't play the game that I like because I'm just going to continuously be like on high alert that someone's going to do something shitty.
Yeah, we were talking earlier on stream too, and anxieties are like a lot of people now. Like anxieties are, it's recognized. It's a, you have to cope with that, and pugging brings that anxiety out in so many people. I won't say the name because that's sort of matter. But somebody had said, I will sit in a key group for an hour because I'm nervous to get in a group and have someone like yell at me or whatever, and like that shouldn't be a thing. Like that's one thing. Like, so I played Final Fantasy for a little bit, and I was doing like just the leveling, and people are like, oh, the Final Fantasy community is so great, there's no toxicity, just you get to know if they're a new player because they got like a little sprout by their name. But that's not entirely true either in Final Fantasy. Like I had people tell me how to play as a white mage. Don't use this spell, use this spell, don't use this, and I didn't even have those spells learned yet. So I've been playing a lot of WoW recently with my good sis Chewy, and Chewy is brand new. Like she's wet behind the ears, brand new WoW player. And every time we've gone into a dungeon, I started typing in, wow, this is a new player. Can we have like, I'm explaining things to her, like we're gonna figure this out. And we had no one has been rude if you acknowledge that. So I almost wonder if that's something that WoW could adopt. There was an indicator saying this is a new player, or first time in a dungeon even. Or like you have to do a dungeon 5 times to graduate out of like that new player zone. Would people be nicer? Or if they don't want to be nicer, they could just leave and you can get somebody else in.
Right.
But like, would that be
I mean,
something?
I definitely think that like newer players are not set up for success, like you're saying. There isn't really avenues to experiment and explore and like learn, you know. So, because ultimately, like in regards to this conversation, at the end of the day, like we do have to be responsible for the people that we play with, you know. Like if you don't want to, if these people that you're playing with are treating you poorly, do not play with them. That's just, this is it. Point blank period. The game can try to facilitate people choosing more kindness by offering new resources to players who are newer, or offering, again with the smaller group sizes, because we started touching on that. Having smaller group sizes means that you're able to cultivate that space more and have those players, like you don't have to find 30 other queer people that you get along with. You can find 7 other, which is like a lot easier and more manageable. Ultimately though, we do have to remove ourselves from toxic people. Like if people act all crazy with me, I'm not going to play with them. I don't give a damn. Like I'll get my IO score somewhere else. Like, you know, it's not even that big. But I think what you were saying about sprouts, I think that we definitely could. The game doesn't really teach you how to start being good in Mythic Plus. The game doesn't really teach you how to utilize all of the massive amounts of CC and kit that you have.
Mhm.
It barely teaches you how to press your buttons in a specific order in order to do damage. Like the beginning tutorial is so awesome, and then level 12 hits, and now you have 3 more spells that you're like, okay, well, what do I do with these spells? You know, like as a new player, it must be very daunting to. You do have to read your tooltips. That's really the biggest way, but also like to get into that flow and to learn how your class actually performs and such, when a lot of players don't want to take the time out of their day to sit there and teach you either, because they're ultimately only
Wait,
able to
y'all
play
know how
for...
to read?
Yeah, baby.
I just had a
Well,
thought kind of to piggyback on that. So you didn't play during WAD, right, Mickey?
I did not know.
Cassie, did you play in WAD?
No, I didn't start until Battle for Azeroth.
And Quinn, did you play WAD at all? You did. Okay. So in WAD, there was a garrison, and you had like that was like your city base, but you were by yourself in there. But there was something called proving grounds, and you had to do those proving grounds before you could do a higher level dungeon. Do we think that that's something that could come back, so that a new player has to do something like that to start learning, like, you have to kick this or you're dead. You can't interrupt it. You can't move on to the next level.
No, that would be really great, because then you could bring in a player and be like, okay, so your goal is you have to pay attention to the mobs, and when they do this one specific thing, you have to use this on them, and it's tailored by class. I think that would be a great resource, because ultimately that's what separates like people being able to like be into like get their feet into like Mythic Plus, for example.
So do you think that's something that we're going to see with the delves coming out? Because I'll be honest, I've not done a ton of like research into delves, and my understanding is that they're single, or you can bring your friends in, and they're kind of like the mage tower. They get harder as you go up, or like Torghast. But is there going to be like, you have to do this, or is a player going to go in for the first time by themselves as a new player and not know what the heck's going on?
I was going to say, I don't know that delves are going to solve that, and I don't know that even doing something like Proving Grounds is going to solve that, right? I mean, when I first started getting into Mythic Plus, I didn't know anyone, and there was no one to tell me any better, and I was a BM hunter, and what did I do? I pressed Lust on cooldown, and no one told me not to. They just screamed at me in the chat. You know, they're just like, you're an idiot, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like, someone's got to help me out. And people are just unwilling, and I feel like there has to be a culture shift in some of the players. You know, it's never going to be all of the players, right? Like, we're not always going to have the best player base, but some of the players, like, being more welcoming to newer people trying different specs, people trying different classes, like being willing to at least be like, hey, don't press that until I tell you. Okay, fine. And that is the only way that I learned how to even use Lust, was because someone said, don't press that yet. You already did it. We're going to restart, and you press it when I tell you. And I was like, solid. I can do that one.
That's why, and this is a different game, but like in Final Fantasy, you don't, like in Final Fantasy, I didn't do any research how to play White Mage, but like you figured it out. So do we think that there's too many spells to press? And they're different games, and I get that. I'm registering that. But like to do those dungeons, I didn't need to go research, because like in WoW, outside the dungeons, who told you you need weak auras? Who told you about all these add-ons? Who told you where to get these add-ons? Was it the player base, or did you stumble
How did
into
you
it?
source them? Yeah, like the thing I was gonna add there is like, at that point I'm like, is the community failing? Like how Mickey was like, oh, if you just read like how to do these things, but like, is the community not helping, or are they failing each other if they don't like tap in? And we can say that the community does fail players, especially new players. Like, and we have the item level to get into like this raid or this dungeon, XYZ, blah 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 blah. But it's like, they don't get mad at you if you're not pulling enough damage, or if you're not healing as quickly or fast, or doing this, or if you wipe, then people want to start pointing fingers. So who is really failing at? Like, I don't understand that. But, and also people get on their ego in this game. I feel like there's so many people like in World of Warcraft, and I love this game, that the ego trip that happens where no one wants to talk to you when you get into like a dungeon or something, or like or if a pickup dungeon, like, you know, like Raid Finder or something, and they don't want to say nothing. until it goes wrong, and that's what they're just like, you ain't you ain't shit or something, or why are you doing
when
this?
you get
Why
the
are you popping
question
that?
mark,
Blah, blah, blah.
question
Now
mark,
they wanna
question
look at you,
mark.
right?
Yeah.
And then that's like, then they want to look at you, but it's just like, what if we just talk to each other from the jump as soon as we queue up? And that's the thing that I get irritated. Like, as soon as I get into like a pickup group, I'm like, hello everyone, blah 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 blah. It is my birthday. Like, I'll start talking to people and trying to bond with them. That's my tip. Whenever you get into a pickup group, go in there and say, hello folks, it's my birthday, and they're nicer to you.
Yeah. Get chatty.
It's about to be my birthday every day.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
I do it every single time. I do it on stream. I'm like, okay, we're doing like, y'all want me to go into like Dungeon Finder? I'm like, it's my birthday.
Hello.
And I'm like, oh, okay. Hi.
Yes.
You're like, okay, we're gonna make sure we get this done, right? It gives them like a little bit of a carrot on the end of a stick. So
speaking
for them
about
to not be messy.
Like, when we're talking about like you're trying to find people to do stuff and you don't want to get yelled at, I do think that Blizzard is finally taking a step in the right direction, and this is like the second step. We had one step, now we got step number 2. The first step was getting rid of the barrier for cross faction. That was really good, so you can be in the same guild and you can party together, but you can't do time walking or queue for shit. So they gotta fix that too. And now with the War Within, you can be in a guild but on a different server. I think that's also a really good step in the right direction. Also hoping that means they're going to lower the price for server transfers. Why the hell they $25? Hello? I'm poor.
Expensive.
Hello?
For no reason.
Hello.
For no reason. Yes. There's no reason.
So like, I'm hoping that now they're doing that. They're going to make finding people easier, but there's still going to be a tool to find those people. So I hope that we'll see something in terms of that, because like a guild is a huge part of WoW. I think a lot of players are missing out on by not being in one or finding one. Like, I'm gonna call it Empress really quick. Empress out there in the chat. Empress played WoW, and this is the first expansion, and they quit, and it breaks my heart, because like, I think if you find people to play with, you're more likely to continue on that journey. Like, WoW is a social game.
Definitely.
There are folks that like to play alone, and now they've got their follower dungeons and all that stuff, and like, pop off, sis. I won't do that content. I need a social aspect of it. But again, I feel like by promoting and doing so much solo content like the follower dungeons, you're not addressing the problem that is the player base. You're putting a band-aid on something. Like, WoW is not a single player game. If you want to do that for your own anxiety, social issues, I get that. And I'm glad there's something for you. But there needs to be some incentive for the player base to stop being douche canoes. Like, I don't know what it is, but like, there's got to be something out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are y'all PvE? Okay, with the whole single player thing, are y'all into like role play or just RP, general like lore stuff?
Definitely into 4.
So I don't RP in game.
You're
but
lore
like,
whore.
in my rated R situations, maybe, but not in game. Not in
Oh
game.
my god, Lord!
Wow, it's giving Goldshire in at the Cell Heal Twitch channel.
Where's my mailbox? Shake it, honey. I'm ready.
Nasty,
Give it in,
filthy.
Minnie. Throw them coins at me. I'm here for it.
So, here, have some.
It's 6:52 on
You look
Beyonce's
thirsty.
internet. It's 6:52.
I love
On
having a
Beyonce's
story.
internet.
I love having a story. I love the story of my characters and like having a backstory. And I don't actually actively roleplay in the game, but I do love that kind of thing. I love the interactions. A lot of players don't engage with that at all, though. Like a lot of people in my game, they're like, I don't really care about any of that. They just like they like to raid. They like to Mythic Plus. They like WoW for the gameplay it offers and how that unique like that aspect of it. That's what they like.
But there are RP servers too, so if that is something you're into, I know Generic Live is an example. They love RP, and there's add-ons you can get that give like kind of like Dungeons and Dragons. I'm a sprout in Dungeons and Dragons, but there's an add-on that you can like write up a backstory for yourself, and you have to have that add-on to like see that. So like you can really dive in if that's your bread and butter. I'm on a no carb diet right now though, so that's not mine.
On that note, sorry, Cassie, did you have something to say about the art playing? Are you a role player?
No, I was
You-
looking at Cell for the bread and butter comment.
That was
I love.
see. That's why you should be RPing. Look at that. You just made a sandwich. You made a sandwich right now. Bread and butter.
Loved being
That's
a good
funny.
sandwich.
What I was gonna say was on regards to like what you just said with like the add-on and like making your backstory and like getting involved in that. One thing I wanted to ask and see you guys' opinion on, like, WoW is a theme park MMO, and what that means is like you go in there and you create your own experience in it. Like you have to go out there and purposefully do and engage with role playing and like write your backstory and all that. Like the game's not gonna make you do that or give you like bronze points or gold for doing that. Like, and I don't think that it's really the company's responsibility to do that. It's the players, and that's what I was gonna how I can liken that to like dungeons or raid or this or that. It's like so much of like because it's a role playing game, like as a player you have to seek out your own like experience in it and cultivate your own experience. How do you feel about that when it comes to like player responsibility, to seek out experiences, to cultivate them, to learn more about your class or your spec or the game mode? How much personal responsibility do you think is fair to expect of players when it comes to, okay, so you want to do Mythic Plus dungeons? Well, are you going to go out and learn them, or are you going to have somebody else teach you how? How much is it like player versus like the community should like be doing like educational sessions? Like how does that actually look? Because we talked about it, like players not
Yeah.
feeling welcome, but like where does that actually change? Like how much is personal responsibility versus
So
group
I'll-
responsibility?
I'll tap into this because that's kind of where I started. Like when I first started playing WoW, I played on Sisters of Elune, which is an RP server, and that's where I got my start. And I get so immersed in like the lore, and I started playing in Burning Crusade. And we all know Burning Crusade is like a heavy lore expansion where, you know what I mean. And I just started like, I was just in an RP all the time, you know, waiting in line at the bank, all that sort of bullshit. And I loved it. So as things started to advance, it was harder for me to keep track of the stuff that was happening with retail, which is why I jumped for the opportunity to go back to classic. Because like I was learning things as it went, like, and I was reading. I was reading, I was doing it, like, you know what I mean? Like with the UI changes
Y'all
and
can
all
read.
that stuff. Like I could read, and then like things that affect your RP, I was paying attention, but then it got to a point where it wasn't as easy. And then people were flocking to RP servers to get like a more calm experience to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely.
But as far as like player responsibility for your experience to learn the game, I feel like RP servers kind of just like lost their way. And I do also know Generic Live, and they're awesome. I wish that there was more like strict stuff with when it comes to RP. I'm a RP. I'm smacking myself. Y'all hear that?
It's that bubble coming out.
It was so loud. It was the soul. Can't escape my chest, so I wanted to keep it in there. But nah, for real. Like I really wish there was like a real safe place for that. That's I like that feeling, and then like being my character and stuff. Can we get more RP stuff? Can we get like a backstory written or like a little tab,
player housing,
like in other games? Like you can write things like, "This is who I am." Yes. Oh, player
I
housing.
would love to do
please.
RP stuff, but I feel like the same thing that you're saying, Quinn, where like there's so much story already happening. I started way too late to be an RPer. Like I started in BFA. There is so much story. I'm gonna say one thing and everyone's gonna be like, and I'm like, well, sorry, I didn't know that. I didn't play during WOD.
I don't think that's true in the RP servers that are now, because a lot of RP servers, they have like, if you're in a guild for RP, there's like rules and there's themes similar to Dungeons and Dragons. So I don't think that you necessarily have to know all of the lore inside and out from the game.
That's a good thing to know. because I definitely
It's never
don't
too
know
late.
much
Come
more.
over. Come to my house.
I feel like it also comes
Well-
down to like who you play with, you know? Like there's gonna be some people that are gonna be
I'm
like
on
a
it.
sweaty nerd and treat you
Mhm.
poorly because you didn't know one thing, but like, you know, you can't control that. There's gonna be people that are like that everywhere, and it's like up to us as people who are not like that to be vocal and visible, so players see, right, that like, oh, there's cool people that play this game, and I could just engage with them. But also, like, yeah, no, like, not the people who act like that. It's like, oh, well, you didn't really want to role play with them anyways.
Yeah.
Even if you
Mhm.
knew.
Gatekeeping.
Yeah, like they can't.
Gatekeeping.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, they pay their sub and you pay your fucking sub, so they can't really say, "Oh, you have to uninstall the game." Like, "Oh, you got one lore fact wrong when you're role playing. Guess you gotta uninstall the game, delete that character." Like, because guess what? Guess what? There's a block
Is
button
your
right the
husband?
fuck there.
Is my husband.
I'm just saying. There's a block
Frozen
button.
throne
Use it.
is your throne.
Oh my Elijah. So I don't RP. I just did that. I just thought though, I do get very immersed though in expansions. Like, I love the cutscenes and expansions, and I don't know if it's like how my brain works. I consider every expansion like a new game. Like, I know a lot of people that are super into lore get really mad. That story made no sense because in 1982 they did this, this, and this, or in this book it did this.
Oh.
And I don't pay attention to that. Like, I live in the moment for the story. So like, whenever you get that, you're on a quest tree and then you get a pause and then you get a cute little cutscene after. I live for those. Like in Legion. This is not a spoiler. Legion's old and dirt now. Like when those people were dying in the very opening of the new. Like when the Legion was attacking and King Varian, like I don't even know who the hell King Varian was, but I was like in that moment, I was like, oh, he's dead. I was crying, I was grabbing the Kleenexes, and then like the one was when I was in BFA when Sylvanas yells, "The Horde is nothing," and then she killed that orc dude. And I was like, ah! Wait, who's that orc dude though? But I was like in that moment, and like I think it's okay to be in that moment and be like I get immersed. Like I just want those experiences.
So what's your favorite cutscene?
That one.
All of y'all, what's your favorite cutscene that like you're just like, oh, my back, my heart, my back, my back and my heart.
One, when she yells, "The Horde is nothing." That scene when they were all in front of Orgrimmar. That's the one for me.
I really liked the opening cinematic for Battle for Azeroth.
Oh yeah.
With the "For the Alliance, for the Horde." I
think I would have liked it better if she did it that way.
I mean, she should have. Blizzard Entertainment Group, hire me. I'll be the new Sylvanas, bitch. That won't piss off your fan base at all. Surprise! Sylvanas is back from Shadowlands, and she's a black drag queen.
To see
where do I subscribe to that? I'm ready.
I would pay all the
Sharonda,
money in the
bring
world.
your busted ass over here, bitch.
Fund that. Yes.
Your lace is lifting, my
Sylvanas is in black. She's black.
Yeah, girl. She is, and she was. Well, she ain't. She became. She grew.
I want to.
She evolved.
Yeah.
I'll be the new Windrunner, honey.
I'm a Sylvanas thing.
I'm saying. Michaela Windrunner.
I can
Here we go.
She's
She's
a letter. She's a star.
The long lost non-binary sibling to the Windrunners.
Listen, California Forever just wrote, when Ysara got corrupted and we had to kill her.
Aww. Yeah.
Oh, my heart hurts already. Oh, where's my ice cream? Oh, that was, oh my God. That was a good one too. There was, WoW has that ability though. Like a lot of those cutscenes, like we should do the favors, but like they know how to like pull on those heartstrings. And I think that's good because if they like, if you're a new player coming into an expansion, you also want that WoW factor. WoW's not just for the ones that have played since 1982. It's for any new player coming in. Like when so this month we played with Pearl Tees and we did Nebraska and we played with Lady Rubbish Show, the first time ever. And I did two different, for Nebraska, we leveled as humans in Elwyn Forest. And then for Pearl, we played in, what's that new, like the beginning player thing called?
Exile's Reach.
Exile's Reach. And then it takes you instantly from that point into BFA. And Provo's like, oh, cutscene! Okay, girl. Like, she was living for those cutscenes.
Yes.
But that's how you're going to get pulled in the game. Like, you need
Right,
that
right.
connection off the bat to start putting pieces together.
Definitely. I think the new expansions got a lot of promise for that because Dragonflight did not really have a lot of that. There wasn't. I mean, there was some cutscenes. Razagath. I feel like the first expansion season was like really full of like interesting story elements, and as it went on, it was kind of became less prevalent. Like this last one, I mean, I guess no, that's not true. I'm lying. I'm just making shit up. There was cutscenes and like interesting things going on this whole time. But I don't know. I think like BFA just had more of a snappiness to it, right? Like there was like a because you know, here's the thing. Maybe this is, tell me if I'm derailing the compa. But I was gonna say, WoW's narrative. Well, I feel like stories are best when they're a little bit more parsed down and they're a little bit more tangible and attainable. And as they get more and more like, we're going into outer space again, it becomes like you're less able to relate to it. You're less interested in it. Whereas like for like the beginning WoW, why was it so gripping when there was like 3 pixels on the screen? Why was that story so enriching? And it's because you're like, this world feels alive and you're really into this world. You're a soldier in this war and you're like, it's on the ground level. And I think that is an attractive thing, which I think is they're getting back to with the whole Metzen coming back and doing a whole saga. That's exciting. But I don't know. How do you guys feel about that?
Jumping in first, huge thank you to Ty for a $50 donation on the charity.
Oh,
we are at $115. Thank you so much. That is incredibly kind of you. And it is Sturmcrow's first time in chat. Welcome on in, Sturm. Welcome to the party. And I agree with you, Mickey, on like
Stormcrow, that's my mod right there.
Ooh,
One of my mods.
we love to see
There
it.
goes
Hi.
my baby. Like
Hey!
I know them.
We do have ads rolling right now, so I'm kind of just filling with hot air because we have a lot of people that aren't subscribed that are probably in ad
There
hell
it
right
goes.
now.
Did y'all watch the BET Awards?
Oh, I
Okay.
watched Victoria Monet.
Actually, I did
Yes,
watch
right.
the
Oh,
Oh, they're going. Okay.
You get to
So, I was wondering when you were gonna make your appearance.
My appearance.
Who, me?
Oh no,
Who?
Cell. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
BET
Oh my
Awards.
God.
Yeah, that's the joke.
You were the BET Awards? You were the
I
BET
kidding.
Awards?
I was
kidding.
watching them earlier. I love a streamer, not World of Warcraft, but I'm gonna name drop Mufasa Screams. She's
Oh,
a
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
icon.
Yes.
And she was watching them before she was playing Apex Legends. She is my morning coffee every single day. I love Mufasa.
I love that.
So we got a minute left, but we could continue on. So I think, like, I didn't play Vanilla WoW, so I don't have a huge. I started playing in Wrath of the Lich King, and I remember leveling, but I didn't pay attention to the story too much until I was in Icecrown Citadel. Like that was when I was like, and I
That
got
place is
really
cool.
into it. Like that old
That
stuff
place is
though.
so cool.
Like now, the cutscenes for story and questing, I look forward to them. Like I think of WoD too. Like WoD had some awesome. That's I think when WoW turned their dial. When WoD came out, those cutscenes came out the floodgates like right away,
Right.
and that's where it pulled me in a lot. So I think, yeah, those cutscenes are really important for a new player base. I'm glad they kind of went that
Definitely.
direction because the 3-pixel vanilla, I think that was more about the journey than the story. Because I like
Yeah,
leveling
definitely.
in classic, but I like the challenge of if you pull 2 mobs, you finna die. Like, like I like that ability of the game. And where in like retail, let's pull the whole motherfucking zone. Cassie, heal my hole. We're going in. You know.
Mhm. Yeah, no.
Although I
feel
will
that.
agree with what Mickey said, BFA's cutscenes and the story, that really pulled me in, and that's what made me want to keep playing, especially the Najatar part, which I know a lot of people hate it because it was so small. I loved it. That was the first time I was like, I could do lore. I love this. Like, I'm everything about it. It also helps that I love Ashara. She's my bae.
The queen.
That's it. If you don't
Wait,
like
are you
Ashara, you're wrong.
gay?
She did
Are
nothing
we
wrong.
gay?
Not this.
Are
Ashara
we
did
gay?
nothing
We're
wrong.
I'm
gay?
sensuals. Where?
We're a little gay.
Are we gay in here?
Oh,
It's a
I'm
little
more than
gay.
a little gay. I'm telling you right now. I got the resume to back that up, you know?
Are we gay?
Well,
Yeah.
so,
I
Wait.
hated. I'm
go
sorry.
ahead. What do you hate? No,
Can
tell
I
me.
just
What
say
do you
something
hate?
I
We're
real
getting
quick?
into it. Tell
If
me.
you say Ashara, I'm quitting. I'm
Oh
hovering
my
over the leave stream together button right now.
No, I would never. I'm gonna say, and maybe it's just like the bad taste in my mouth for what happened to Warriors and Kata, but you know, after that happened in the beginning, I still vibed with. I still play Kata through and through with all the raids and all that stuff, but I don't like that Thrall just left. And like the cutscenes, like with the dragon aspects, and I just felt like that was rude. He was just like out there, like I'm Thrall, and I like am out here with the dragons now on a rock. I didn't like it. It made me sad. And everyone was like, these cutscenes after you kill Nefarian, and he's just there, and I didn't like it.
Yeah,
Please don't be mad at me
but
for not
Blizzard
liking
has
that.
those, like, they get rid of your main character after like every few expansions. We saw it with Sylvanas recently, right? Like that was all Sylvanas and it was all Tyrande, and now it's who? Like they gone. But let's talk about
Sylvanas,
this
like,
Ysara or Ysara's daughter.
Her story just went like, and her lore, her story just went like
weird.
dark. And then Thrall was like out here, like, I'm getting woke. I'm out here and I understand it all now. Like, I didn't like that. That's exactly what happened to him.
No, you are correct.
I'm so passionate.
Yeah,
and they
it's a
killed
little
old girl.
interesting.
They were just like, she's evil now. And I'm like, what?
Yeah. They do like
Sorry.
they like to utilize the characters a lot. And sometimes it becomes like, does this character need, like, does this make sense, or are you just because this character's popular, you're adding more, and then you get the Sylvanas problem where it's like, did Sylvanas' story make any sense after Wrath of the Lich King? Not really. Like, did it make any sense? No. Like
The writers failed
because
her.
it was too
They
much.
failed
Yeah,
her.
they definitely did. Because it was like
Mm.
she leapt off of the top of the Ice Crown Citadel, and she came back because she saw nothing on the other side, and it was depressing. That's okay. That's compelling.
What? Your
But then-
people are already like her. Oh,
Yeah,
it was too
but like
much.
I feel like her journey after that should have been like, where does she find meaning now in Azeroth? Like that she has to discover her own meaning of like unlife, and that would have been cool. But instead, it was like, okay, but she also found Nipples McGee, and he was secretly like, behind
I'm so mad
everything,
that I
and
knew
so she was
exactly
like,
what you meant.
I'm saying, and she was like, you know what? All that character development, all that like everything that I've been building up to, fuck that character development. Where I'm ready to be evil now, and it was like, why?
Where
This is
gone,
screaming.
snatched.
Axe has a
Snatched.
really good
and
point
then
here.
they put wall. They put him in the. Sorry.
you're
I'm
good.
like,
Go
can I
ahead.
just say this one last
Put him
time?
in the wall. Do it.
I'm like so passionate.
What Thrall do?
And then like Thrall, they send him on a vacation where he gets woke, and then he's like, I'm gonna put this person in my place. Garage, and then the troll, like it just makes me so mad. It makes me. That's
Fair.
it. That's all I gotta say. That's it.
Axe has a really good
Nibbles
point.
McGee.
Is that Final Fantasy is smart for not focusing the main story through raids. I think WoW hurts itself by doing that because everyone expecting a big climax at the end, and it ends up in like 5 seconds cutscene that tells us nothing. I agree with that, and I agree. I feel like it's really bad for players because like raise to world first, great, fantastic, have a little party with it, but then like when it finally happens, you're watching the cutscene as well, and it's on YouTube. But like, if you're a player who doesn't care about Race to World First, you just want to see what happens. Why are you held back? Because you can't queue an LFR.
Yeah,
It's
right.
You gotta wait. Like, why do you have to have shit locked behind? And this expansion, so my girl Crit started playing WoW in Shadowlands, and she loved it. And then she said, "It is so stupid. I can't finish the story until I have rep with X, Y, or Z." Like, what?
girl, the rep requirements. I'm still discovering chapters now.
Yeah,
Like it's fucking July 2024, and I'm still like, oh, there was another quest. Oh, that's why we were over there this whole time. Like
Me not having Pathfinder in most expansions because I can't be bothered to finish the quests. I can't find
Yeah.
them. I'm like,
Well,
bye.
they need to do something. Like I think this, like there could be a maybe each raid needs to have like a little sub story in it for those people if that's what they want to do. But for your average player, I don't want to watch a YouTube cinematic. I want to see it my damn self.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
why
it
do I
makes
gotta
sense,
wait
too.
6 months? I don't do it now.
I know people criticize time gating, but in Shadowlands, because that was my first experience, you did have the story locked behind Renown, but Renown was really, really easy to get, and it was on a time gating. Whereas now it's like you have to go and pick up dirt piles for hours to get any kind of rep with this expedition, and then it's locked at like 20 level Renown is the last quest, and I'm like, that's a lot of dirt that you really expect me to just be digging through to just find the story. Whereas before, I felt like in Shadowlands, it was like they were slowly trickling the story to people so they would stay engaged. It's an MMO. Obviously, they got to keep people logging in. But I thought it was so easy to get. And if you were behind, you just play the game and you get Renown levels like bing, bang, boom. So it's like, it didn't feel like you had to work to unlock the story. The story was just like unlocked for you over time, which I don't know. I
agree with that 100% because I feel like I play the game like it's my damn job, and my Renown levels are like 2, 5.
Because
I've got one at 20, and then they made the max 40, and I was like, well, pack it up, boys. I'm not doing that shit anymore.
So do you think because Dragonflight is the first time where they've made all side questing optional, whereas like for your Renown, you had to go to your Covenant to do those dailies to get that Renown, to unlock stuff, to get your cosmetics, your rewards, your story. Like I didn't do any world quests this expansion. Like I was talking about gold making it, and Daniel was like, oh, you should go do this world. I'm like, do what? World content? Why? No. Like I feel like there should still be some component of requirement to do world questing, like in Legion, and in what's the water BFA, you had to do like the world quest, but like if you did 4 world quests, you got a chest and you got rep and you got extra rewards for doing those 4 before it expired. That was beautiful.
Right.
And I think again, it's like that. It's the long swinging or pendulum. The pendulum. But like, I think
swinging slasher.
They swung it too far. Where like, it's everything is optional.
Slasher is crazy.
But like everything is optional now. And I
agree.
I need that sense of no, you actually have to do this. But when you're done, you're gonna get that opioid, not opioid. Well, that's the wrong word.
Well,
that was the word copium. Where like you're like, oh, I feel gay. Like,
but it's also like it's too much. Like I mean, like remember? Do you guys remember when Dragonflight first launched, and in that first week, people were doing the Azure Cobalt Assembly rep so that you could get a ring?
Yes.
That ring was good, but like, and I would have done it because, like, you know what? Like, let's go do the Cobalt Assembly. But you looking at how much of that fucking thing that you had to do to get the damn ring, that is literally obsolete next week. Next week, you go into 1 Mythic Plus dungeon and it drops a ring that's 10 item levels higher than it at a 0 or a +2. It's like, why? Like, if you're gonna make these rewards actually good, then they should be rewards that like are actually good through the whole expansion or the whole season. Because I remember like I unlocked Valdrakken,
that are like timeless.
I unlocked a ring at the end of the Valdrakken reputation that I was like finally, because one day I just grinded it out because I wanted my damn I don't remember what I wanted. I wanted like scales or dragon armor or something. So I was like, I'm gonna do it. And so I did it, and I got to the end, and this is, mind you, the end of season 2. We're like 443 item level, right? The last reward you get for like 30 renown levels. It was like, by the way, you got this little crafting item that can craft you. If you give this to a crafter, you can make a 395 item level piece. Woo! And I was like, now what the hell? Who grinded out 30 renown levels before you got like? Because week 2 you could get a 395 piece. So I'm like, what? Who in the hell really sat here and did this? Like, to get that piece and make it actually have any value? Like, it just doesn't make it make sense.
And we keep getting really weird filler content, like that island we had to go to unlock for the other ring, season 2, I think, as well.
Forbidden Reach.
Yeah, like what was the point of that? We went there for like a month, and then it's just gone in Narnia. Like, I don't want to sit there waiting for rares to spawn to kill to get something to go and open a. What? Like that's
I will say, I will say the way that they did the rares in the Reach, though, I wish we had that back, because I've recently started trying to like farm some dragon customizations, right? And I went to the Zerlik Caverns. Bitch, tell me why I'll sit there and I'll be sitting here like I'm sat, and 15 minutes go by, and I'm just sitting here, and then it's like, oh, by the way, a new rare has spawned, and I'm looking at the map. It takes like 2-3 minutes after it announces that it spawns for it to actually spawn. And so you're just sitting there for minutes and minutes and minutes and minutes and minutes, and you only get like one shot every like 2 hours for the one specific rare to maybe spawn. It's crazy. I'm like, because if you go to the Reach now, there's still all the rares are spawning fast. So at least you're like, you can just like plug in, turn your brain off, and fly around and kill them. The Zerlik Caverns is not like that. So I was like, I don't know. I know that the Reach was essentially pointless because it was just like a vehicle for the narrative, because the story going on there was like really cool and leading into the next raid. But at least like the actual gameplay was there. That's all I'll say on that. Like, at least there was actually something to do.
That's fair.
Exactly what you're describing is why I don't farm rares for anything. If something is behind a rare farm, I'm just not gonna do that content.
Yeah.
And that's really unfortunate, because like there's always something every expansion. You've got to kill 12 rares to get this one piece of silver. You know, like what? Like Axel, the fact they turned rares into grindable content sucks. Mop rares are best in slot. Random toys and mop. Exactly. Like that's the rares I want to do. If I'm bored, I'll fly. If I fly over and I see one, sure, I'll swoop down there and fucking boom. But like, don't make a requirement.
Why drop a damn currency? Every time I kill a rare, I get a currency that I can then use to cash in for a thing that I could get to drop, or I could spend a week trying to grind rares. You know, I don't know. I'm always a fan of deterministic rewards. Whereas, like, if I'm flying around killing rares for 3 hours, I should get some currency that can buy the thing that just didn't drop for me. You know what I mean? But having to dig up dirt piles and just hope and pray that a flail appearance drops in them. Come on, sis. Just give me the damn flail.
Me couldn't be me. If I'm gonna go and kill a bunch of rares or like farm them, I at least want my data text me back. Sorry.
Well, next topic.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
I can't.
Like, at the bare
I don't want you to see
minimum.
me.
If you're gonna do the bare maximum, I want the bare minimum.
Not daddy.
Listen.
Daddy, come home, bring back that milk.
Oh, not the milk.
You want
but
the cigarettes.
Not the cigarettes either. No, I gotta say, so I'm looking at this stream right now, and there's the 4 of us all sitting around here having a little kiki, right? You know what this reminds me of? Warbands, bitches! Who's pumped for Warbands? Come on. Whee! I'm so excited. Quinn, do you know what the Warbands are? Great. Oh, I love that for us. So, with the War Within coming out, warbands are, so on your screen, there'll be 4 characters. But, like, say you do a raid on your priest, an old raid for transmog, and a piece of plate drops, but you got a plate, bitch, in your warband, you don't gotta go farm it again. That plate piece will go transmog to your plate character in your warband. Who's okay? Farming is gonna be a dream.
So fun.
I'm so excited.
So excited. As soon as pre-patch drops and all those warbands are unlocked, bitch, you can believe I'm gonna be in every fucking raid. Every raid. I'm getting all the transmog. That's so exciting.
I think it's a breath of fresh air for farming old raids and old content, because let me tell you, I have the invisible mount. I farmed that bitch for years. Give me all the transmog, and if I don't want to farm the 0.1% drop, bye! I'm not running this on 6 characters no more. Bye, girl. I'm out. Where's the check? Uber, is that you? You know? I'm dead. What's your thoughts on warbands, Cassie? Tell me. Tell the world.
Oh my gosh. So I feel like I'm really happy for everyone else, but I play one class. So warbands are not as exciting for
lie.
me.
I've seen the priest. I've seen the shaman.
Okay. I will play alts at the end of seasons, but most of the time I'm playing a druid. I like to play all of my druid specs on one druid, so it's not as helpful. But I think they're super cool for everyone else, and I'm very excited for everyone in their transmogging. It's just that I'm only gonna need the leather transmog.
I mean, it was nice too, though. Well, but even on that note, oh, never mind. I was gonna say you can like farm on multiple characters now, but yeah, I guess if you have to be leather. Or actually, no, that's true. Like if you have any characters that aren't leather wearers, you could go do those raids that you're trying to get the leather from, you know. And if it drops, then you can get it. But I think it's also cool. Like it's not just about transmog; it's also about like alts and making it not as like all account wide reputation is being unlocked now with your warbands, as well as you're gonna get drops of gear that you can send. They're account bound now, so you can send them to your alts instead of like when you like at the end of the season, you're like, you know what, I want to play this class because I'm just like not doing anything. It's gonna sound fun. You log in and you're like, I have to do what to grind so that I can even start doing the content? Like, no, ma'am, log out. But now you can just send gear that you get and you acquire on your main to these alts, which is I think gonna be so nice. So you can just throw that shit on and then just like dive right into the content you want to, you know?
For sure.
That's true. That may actually make me want to do more characters.
Right.
Because it'll be a little bit more accessible. Exactly. Yeah. Like, because right now I am not logging on. I kind of want to play shaman, but not enough to do that grind on shaman right now. No thanks.
Fair.
I have 3 characters that I consider like my main. Well, 2 characters mains. One is like the alt main. But like the only way I was able to keep them all the same this season is because I played each of them every week. Like, and I did the raid every week because I knew that like if in 4 weeks from now, if I get on my dragon, I'm not gonna want to like. I don't want to be behind like that. I don't want to go play LFR for like ever and get all these bullions. Like I'm just like, girl, can I just play my character?
Yep.
Like so. Yeah.
Fair and valid. I want to ask a Mythic Plus question because 3 of us play a lot of Mythic Plus. We're going to bring Quinn. Listen, War Within, you're doing keys with us.
Listen, don't ask me no question. No, don't ask me no questions.
We're pulling you in. But this Mythic Plus question.
I was reading chat. I was cracking up at chat. Like, oh my God, Empress, like all y'all, your chat is amazing. They're like, Chris, like, oh, the cops are coming for me. You hear that? Oh my God.
That's me, girl.
Pride Month too.
I'm
in the back. I'm outside your house right now.
Oh, did you bring Taco Bell?
I could go for a taco real bad.
Dang.
Oh, wait, I'm getting distracted. So we've seen Mythic Plus evolve over expansions. Like Mythic Plus came out in WoD, right? And you may not have played then, but I've seen it from when it first came out to where we're at now. And it used to be about like invising and skipping, and you wanted rogues to do like cloaking. You wanted to like be as fast as you could down the scrap and get in, get out. And now we're seeing like this expansion. I think it was this expansion. Maybe it was no, it was Shadowlands. They dropped the seasonal affects. So we had a little bit of like the big guys in Shadowlands you had to kill and your party got a buff. And the community didn't like those anymore. So WoW said, all right, let's scrap those. And then they started scrapping more and more affixes, but adding in some garbage ones in place of, or they would like adjust them. Well, now going to War Within, they've removed Sanguini, Volcanic, Bursting, and Bolstering, I think. And there's Tyrannical and there's Fortified. So if you're doing a key under a 10, you get one of those. And if you do past a 10, you get both. Like, I think keys are going to fuck. And this expansion, I found keys sometimes, like certain keys, maybe not all of them, but like some of these keys, they fucked hard, and I don't want to do them. Like Alda, no. Ruby life pools, no. No good offensive, not for me. I'm sick.
Oh.
If you miss an interrupt, you're dead. You can't heal one shots. So with the way they're doing it now, where there's so many things to kick, and not everybody gets a kick. Do we like this form of Mythic Plus, or would you rather have where there were seasonal affixes where you could do different things, but you could, if you missed an interrupt, you weren't one shot. You could still recover as a healer. I feel like they're making healing almost irrelevant in keys to a point now. Where do you guys feel sitting at keys now?
Oh. So I, for one, want to say I'm definitely down for pluses because I'm so extra, and I love Linguini.
Perfect.
That was the perfect response.
Well,
no further comments are needed.
That's what I have. Yeah. Period. That's it. That's all I got.
There's a couple different points of discussion in that question, Sal. So, like, which one do you want to tackle first?
Just jump in Mythic Plus in
like
general.
affixes versus like healing in Mythic Plus. Those are two, I feel like, different conversations we can have.
Jump on either topic. Go for it. We're 3 healers in here, so like that's why I threw it in there, because I'm like, let's talk about it, because I'm kind of mad.
So like it's been. Go ahead, Cassie. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. Go for it.
Like in regards to healing, it's been beaten to death, the topic. But we are in this like survivability meta rather than optimization meta, and I think that that's causing the issue. Where it's like we are getting to key levels where random things are one-shotting people before we're getting to the key levels where there's not enough damage in order to get to the timer. Whereas I think personally, and I hear a lot of players echo the sentiment that it's more fun to have to like optimize damage and see like try to pull more creatively in order to get the most damage we can out to get to the end of the timer and beat the timer. That's more fun than this meta where it's like you can die 20 times and still time the key, and it's like it's fine. The timer's not the issue. The issue is that like if you don't have an augmentation evoker, the mobs look in your direction and you fall over. Like, so it's like that's the problem. And again, like you can't heal a one shot. That's why we have defensives, because if you're not passing the defensive beforehand, then you die, and the healer can't do anything about that. That's why healers are feeling devalued, because it's like, yeah, it's just one damage event that puts people at 15% over after another. If people are at 100% and you're not overhealing them, then the next damage event of any kind of random damage, they're going to die. That's not ideal, and that comes from the fact that we're getting to the levels where the mobs just have too much, they just do too much damage, not that the mobs are that hard to kill, because they die fast, but they also kill you while they're doing that. And so that's the regards to the healer issue.
We are not worthy. We are not.
I just say it all. That's fine.
Oh my god.
I mean, don't you guys agree? Do you guys agree?
It was so good.
Well, Cassie and I did a 13 Halter Infusion yesterday when Cassie was streaming, and I got one shot like 12 times. I'm like, can I just leave? I'm done.
Yeah. And some of that is starting to stack verse, but most of that is also not that. It's like you, as a priest, you have to press fade, which is not just removing threat. Now it's also removing snares and giving you a 10% damage reduction, because all these buttons are now like adding on modifiers. But then you press fade, you press a bubble on yourself, and you flash heal yourself before every damage event happens. And it's nice that you can do that every 20 to 30 seconds as a priest. That's pretty cool. But having to do that sequence every time any damage comes out, otherwise your character just dies, that doesn't feel great. You can expect that behavior at like an 18, but like at a 13 it shouldn't be doing that, you know?
Fair.
Yeah, I agree. The way that dungeons are currently is not my favorite iteration of it. The idea that you're having to constantly, like, you have to have the perfect interrupt sequence or someone is dying is not a fun way for me to go about it. But I'm hoping that the way that they're reworking Mythic Plus is going to help that. I hope that the new like dungeon pool with the new affixes I'm hoping
We shall
that's going to
see.
be the good one.
We shall see. I think the affix change is so healthy for the game. I think it's so
Yeah.
good because there are so many weeks this season where I'm like, I actually made like a Mythic Plus push team this season, which was like really exciting. But there would be some weeks where we're all together, we're grouped up, and the affix just sucks. It just sucks. It makes the dungeon harder than it needs to. For a perfect example was, remember last season in Dawn of the Infinites? Do y'all remember the Manifested Tideways?
Oh, sorry, I just threw up.
Remember how difficult that boss on its own is already difficult, and then you add on Afflicted, and now the healer is dispelling the Afflicted.
Do not
and
talk
they
to
have
me about
dispel,
Afflicted and Dawn of
like,
the Infinites.
0.5 seconds or in Throne of the Tides, where the Afflicted was spawning outside of the boundaries of the dungeon through a wall, and you're looking at it and you're like, this is stupid. Like, this is not fun. This is not challenging. This is just distracting you from the dungeon. And like, it sucks. It sucks as a character who can't do anything about the Afflicted, because you're like, well, I'm staring at it and I would love to help. I have a free global right now. It would be so cool if I could help. Or it sucks as a caster and you're like, okay, every fucking 15 seconds I have to stop damaging or stop doing this so that I do that. Like, that sucks. So you know what happens is people just don't play that week. And then you just log off. And then the momentum of the season is ruined. And it's like next week you're like, hey, the affixes aren't that bad. Will you play with me? And people are like, bitch, I already gave up. Like, I already gave up on the game. I don't want to play. I think it's really exciting that we move into this system where under 12s, you do have an affix that rotates every week. So for the players who are not doing push keys, you can log in and you have something new, something that spices it up, some variety. But it's not at a level of key that it's so overwhelmingly hard already just because of the dungeon that the affix is just frustrating you more. And I think that's great. And then for people who are pushing rating or who want to go higher, I will say the jump from 11 to 12 is going to be crazy, because it's going to be like you're jumping from an 11 to like a 14 basically. So like it's going to feel like intense. But every week is push week now. Every time you do a 12 and higher, it's the dungeon exactly the same way, which when it comes to this like meta of CC and rotations and like rotating CCs and stops, you don't want any variation in that, you know? You want to learn it with your buds and do it, and like when you fail and you break the key, you run that back again. And then you like practice again and you get it until you guys are slamming it every time. That's, I don't know, I think this enables that, and I think that's exciting.
Fair. I have an idea that I want to throw out, and it's not an expansion or nothing, but I wonder if this is a way to also make Classic a little bit more something, or like there's a way you could do something like in between. And like, Quinn, I need your opinion because you're a Classic Andy.
I'm about to say we're about to talk about Classic, so
you're ready. So Mythic Plus right now, it's about pulling big, doing big damage, and surviving. How much harder would a Mythic Plus feel if you had like the mana regen in Classic? Like, would that be like, something they could?
So meaning that,
like, imagine speed running a dungeon in Classic where you still have to kill a certain amount of mobs to do something. My face is frozen on my stream, and I
still here. Can y'all hear me?
She's gone, girl.
Yeah,
yeah, we see you.
Sorry,
can you hear me?
Yeah, it was good. It was a very flattering still.
Oh, was that flattering? I looked like I was
Mickey,
doing
why are you a liar?
Yeah, great. That was
said,
Gyllenhaal. Who was that man? Who was the man in Gone Girls? That Brad Gyllenhaal?
He was giving bent neck lady.
God.
Y'all ever seen that haunted house? Haunted house? Just...
Oh yes!
I'm screaming.
Stop.
Okay, wait. Go ahead. So, what was your?
So like,
Yeah,
when you had to
now,
speed
I
run
don't
a
know.
dungeon in Classic, but you still have to kill mobs like a Mythic
All
Plus.
right.
How hard would that be? Or like, would you try that challenge?
I feel like. Oh yeah. Go
Okay,
ahead,
so
Quinn.
you said that would have to have the mana regen.
Yeah,
or
like an
that
energy.
is in
Like
Classic.
imagine, yeah. So like in a mage in Classic, if you pull 2 mobs, you're Now imagine you have to do that faster, but you've got to kill a percentage before you can like, and you could do like a Mythic Plus in a Classic. Do you think that would be interesting to Classic players to like push their limits to go as fast as they can?
Yeah, I feel like Classic is all about pushing your limits. You know what I mean? Because
because that's how we learn. But then you like throw that hardcore aspect. I play a lot of hardcore. I feel like folks know this. I know y'all know this. And we're doing it regular, you know what I mean? We're playing vanilla, and then if you die, you die. You have to, it's all about patience.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, are you used to patience? Can you handle that? Like, I feel like it would be fun. And I feel like when it comes to like classic players, we like the challenge. We're masochists. We want to be punished. Admonish me, admonish me, admonish me. Like, that's how I feel. It's my kink. That's why I play classic.
Or like, what if
honestly.
you were doing that
really
speed
is.
run in classic, and there was an affix that if you killed that with the mobs, you got like 100% mana or energy regen in that time frame. So you didn't have to stop as much, but you had to kill things where it killed you.
Oh my gosh. Well, I would be down with. No, what's a good idea I have? What
me.
if they had like a random world event where you could be classic players, get together a raid that's like 100-man raid.
I'm leaving.
And y'all
Goodbye.
have to take down something. Wait, no. wait, no.
Something other than Tin Man sells
Listen.
out.
100
Goodbye.
people? Oh my god.
No, listen. Please. So like, it was like a dungeon finder sort of thing, a raid finder, and it's like, it's classic. We're at Kata Classic right now, and it's like 100-man queue up. You can kill a raid boss, queue in for a fight for the next expansion that's not out yet, right? So just to see, like, for all those people who get like geared up and are blah blah, like I'm playing Kata Classic, they go in and what will be next? Because after Kata is Mop, right? And you can go into like a dungeon or a raid with 100 people on all servers, right? Like y'all can queue up and do it. All these people. That would be kind of interesting, right? Like that's my kink.
Yeah. It's been a long time since I've had 100 men lined up for me.
It's like season of Discovery. Again.
Season of Discover Me, bitch. Season of Discover Me, bitch.
I'm gonna go and find you. And like, yeah.
I have to read this comment really quick from Win. Okay, but why is Mickey using the VHS home video camera?
Okay, wait, but do I look normal on you guys' like stream together page? Because
no, you're a little fuzzy, girl.
So like, and on my monitor right now,
to me.
on my monitor, it shows like my OBS quality, like it shows regular quality. So I don't know, like, what do you do? How do you fix this? Because I hate it too. I have Cell Stream open too, and it's like I look good because every fucking drag queen looks good with Facetune on, but that's a little bit much.
If my stream is on, do you have the video part on?
Yeah. Should I turn that off?
Take the video off and just keep the chat popped up, and that'll help your.
Well, maybe I just close this. Okay, let me see. Maybe it's just like trying to do too fast.
I look crispy.
Does that look better?
But...
I closed my browser.
It might take a second to catch up. We'll let you know. I just read that and I crap. Not how do I swap Stella and Mickey's qualities. Well,
let me take my wig off and put it on her.
So wait, y'all aren't using your Nintendo DS's
I'm screaming
as your webcam?
How to fix the quality?
Because
well,
anyways,
back into the War Within. My next comment.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so Quinn, this is probably gonna go for you first. Did you buy the War Within yet?
Not us getting clocked.
I didn't buy it, but I have it on lockdown. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. So are you gonna get?
You know what I mean?
Sure.
You know, and then eyes. Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
We on the same page.
Are you? So this for everyone then. Did you guys get the 3-day early access, or are you doing just a regular 3 days later? That was the expensive version of the game for the 3 days.
I'm gonna be so real with you. I bought the most expensive one.
I also bought the expensive one. Mickey,
I haven't bought my expansion yet, but I'm going to.
Fair.
Is it still able to like buy the 3-day access?
What
right?
is
Buy the
money?
expensive one.
What is money? all this money.
I haven't purchased it yet, but I really do.
Girl, I don't know. Mine just goes all to Blizzard.
Though I
That's
will
it.
say, I
Fair.
hate
Yeah. Fair.
a 3-day early access is so homophobic, though.
So that's
just-
what I was gonna ask.
Mhm.
Do you guys like that they
Yeah.
include? So 2 parts of this question. Number 1, do you like the idea if you pre-ordered, you got into beta instantly? That's the first part. So answer that one first.
The beta thing, whatever.
Yeah, I think I'm indifferent to it. I think it's a nice incentive to get more people in it and testing. But it wasn't. I only play beta if other people want me to play beta because I'm the kind of person who's not looking at the story and the questing part of it. So
Okay. And Quinn?
Well, that's how I feel too. Like I'm really much there with Cassie. It's like I have access to these things and stuff, and like, but that doesn't mean I'm like tapping into it because that's not my main interest. Like, so when folks were like asking, "Are you going to play this? Are you going to do this? Or are you going to tap into like beta?" I'm like, I can if I want to, but I don't know if that's where I am or what I want to do on stream. Like, you know what I mean?
For sure.
Like
Yeah.
and I don't want to spoil things for me, but I also understand like, and I like that privilege and those opportunities to do those things, but I'm not going to like, you know, jerk off in the back of my car to it. So
I mean, all right, party. I also don't really care. Like, I do dabble a little in beta, but I don't want to do any exploring. I don't want to go take pictures of bugs in the water. I like looking at like the talents. And then like sometimes if I get real like crusty in retail, I'll want to do like a dungeon just to like test out how bad do I feel or how good do I feel. But I didn't really care about the paywall rather behind beta either. And then the second part to my question is, how do you all feel about if you buy the expensive version, you get 3 days early access?
Hate it.
yeah, I wish they wouldn't have done that. I think
Yeah.
it should have all just been like cosmetics and silly things in game that you get, mounts, whatever.
I mean,
but the
how do you
3-day
feel about it?
access, I just don't love.
Cassell, you're a gold maker. How do you feel about like if you weren't playing, if you didn't have that 3-day early access and you were a gold maker?
I
How
lose my
like
shit.
bad does that?
That's the
Yeah.
only reason I bought it. Like I wouldn't say I'm a casual gold maker, but like in that beginning, if I can't go far, like I've been talking this on stream, I think this is the first expansion where I'm not gonna like try to level fast through. Like normally I want to get my first character in, level her up, and then I switch to my second just so that I got shit to do. But I think this time I'm going to use that 3-day early window and I'm just gold making. I don't think I'm going to compete with mobs because like, you know, every release there's a phasing problem. You got people waiting and like an NPC will walk away and you can't do that quest and they walk back. I don't want to fight with people over that. I'm going to fly around. I'm going to pick some flowers, get some ore. I'm going to make that many honey. Like
Valid.
that's where I'm leaning towards right now. And I think a lot of folks are also going to do that, which might crash the economy really fast. We'll find out, I guess. But I don't like the direction of, pay us more money and you can get on 3 days early. Like, you don't get raids sooner or anything. It's literally,
No.
you can level an extra character or you can make more gold. Or, like, you could buy the regular version and use the difference of the 2 games between and buy yourself a token for 400k.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I feel like WoW has been doing a lot of weird, like, not paywalls, but like,
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's like,
It's
like
definitely
pay to
not.
win because it's not. But like, there's a lot of things that have big ticket prices on them that I think could just be in the game or give you an option. You can do it in the game or you can pay and get this if you want it right away.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
I wish there
definitely
was-
scummy. It's just scummy games as a business tactics. That's just like point blank period. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's just selling people on the idea of like FOMO.
Yeah.
That you're gonna not be able to play with your friends. Give us $30 more. Like fuck you. It's bad. It's
Well,
tacky. It's distasteful.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it. To be honest.
I'm gonna
Can I
say
say something
yes.
real quick?
Jump,
sorry.
jump.
No,
Nope.
you go. You go.
I was just gonna
Rock, paper,
mention
scissors?
most expansions the first day, the first 2 days are terrible on release, where like you can't even play for like hours. People stay up late so they can get in there right away, and they get crash, or like it's like when a patch happens and you get that big, you do the quest, you finally get through all the lag and all the people doing the same bullshit. Your cutscene goes bum bum bum, disconnected, and then you've missed the whole cutscene. Like, is this their way of trying to have their servers not have so many people jumping in? They're still gonna get DDoSed, I think. Like, I feel like they're always DDoSed every release. Are they gonna reimburse players if they pay for the 3 days early and it's unplayable? Or is that a roll the dice?
They sure won't. They sure won't.
Nick.
So what I wanted to say was something that Mickey, like what she said, was about like the play to win. WoW is definitely not pay to win, but there's these things that are happening that are putting us behind paywalls, and also putting the folks who can afford to do things and play this game and this experience, like they can't have access to that. And the first thing I thought of is the price of WoW tokens for game time. For me, that was huge. When I was like younger, and like as soon as I like graduated from high school and I was paying my own bills and I wanted to play WoW, like it was the only place that I could actually do that, and I couldn't afford it. Those WoW tokens to get game time were everything, right? Like putting in all the hours. And I feel like when it comes to like this beta access, it should be given to people who put hours in. Like it shouldn't be behind, like it's the same sort of thing. Like, oh, if you pay or you get this or blah, 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 you'll be able to get in the game. Or if you like can pay this or that, like that's not fair and it's not right. And your time and all the gold that was for those like tokens in the original, like at the beginning, it's like, oh, if I do all this, get all this gold, and like we're all like in the guilds getting together and sending each other gold so that we could just like continue to be a community together. That's gone now. It doesn't make any sense. It's just not fair. Like that community aspect is gone. And I feel like I love Blizzard, I love World of Warcraft, but they have to really decide, is it about community or is it about money? And I know it's about money because they're a company, right? They gotta make their bank, they gotta do what they gotta do. But you're losing the people who are like me, right? Who are just trying their whole life. Zombies in the chat, that's one of my moderators, who put in so many hours, went back in it. I'm gonna start crying. Just so that we could play WoW together, like getting all this gold and stuff and farming it, and like just so we could get like tokens so we can continue doing what we're doing while we're going with all the other things in our life, our IRL lives. That's just so huge. And I don't know. Sorry, I got deep again. But
no, that's fair though. Like Spooky
it's
just
wild.
said,
It shouldn't.
Spooky said, I can't afford WoW tokens anymore. I think tokens were a great thing to start. But I think now gold is so inflated. Like, so we did Azeroth Pride last week, or I think last week or 2 weeks ago now. And Grub gave 1 million gold as a giveaway prize to somebody, and I gave away 25k in bacon bits on our stream team. She put in 25k, so we gave 50k on Kata away, which is like 6 months of game time for people. But if you're on Kata, a token is 7,000 gold, and if you're on retail, it's almost 400k.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would much rather try to make money in Kata to pay for my sub. You can't use that money for, like, currency. And on retail, you can use that gold for, like, Blizzard BNet balance. You can buy other games and stuff with it. But I'm not willing. I don't want to farm for 400k for 1 month. Like, that would be a month of farming at the minimum to buy a token. And I hate how professions are now. I hate them. But, like, crafting gear, like, you need to buy a neck, you need to buy a ring, you need to buy bracers or a feet. Like, that's going to cost you, like, 200k just for that. So I feel like it's that swinging pendulum. I think they went too far. And, like, there's no gold sinks anymore. Because there used to be, like, in BFA, a Brutosaur was 5 mil? 7 mil? 10 mil? I don't remember. I was I was given my Brutosaur. But, not the eye roll, Cassie. But, like, there's no big gold sinks anymore. So, like, there are people at Gold Cap that have multiple accounts that are just playing the auction house the whole time.
Yeah, for real. Like I think about it, and something that Empress said here in the chat, like that would make me cry. That sounds amazing. People sending gold to each other for tokens, that would make me cry. Yeah, it's true, because it's like community is huge, right? We're playing an MMO, and you get in these guilds, and you make friends, and you are gaming and running stuff together. The fact that communities will come together just to make sure someone can still like log in, and that joy, I can't even imagine. You said 400K in retail.
I was picking numbers. I think it's 300 and something right now. I don't.
It's like 400, I think now.
So it's high.
Sheesh,
it's a lot. And like with the time, like I'm gonna speak for like a North American, so Canada and the States, both of us, our countries are kind of similar economically right now, but like times are tough. Like it's so expensive just to buy groceries. So like if you gotta like. WoW was an escape for so many people. Like, they need that mental break. They've had a rough day. Especially for queer people, like gaming, I think for me, and this is for me, but like gaming probably saved my life multiple times. Just in the matter of like, you're alone, you're having a bad time, but you could log on and you can talk to somebody who's in a different country. Like I met, like my two best friends are Crit and Chewy, and I met them not through World of Warcraft, but they both ended up playing the game to play with me, and like I've made those communities and those connections with people that I need that. And can you imagine putting on for like someone's mental health, they need a break, where they're like, hey, so do I want to eat today, or do I want to spend $25 and pay for a month of WoW, which now you can't do, right? You got to buy it in 3-month chunks, or can you still do it month to month?
I think you can do it month to month.
You still can. You can't gift maybe a month anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want to gift someone a game, you can't gift them a month unless it's in current gold. You have to do cash for 3 months. Like, there's just some dumb mistakes, and I think the WoW community is super loyal to World of Warcraft.
Yeah, definitely. So
I just wish they would do something different to like help people out, or put more gold sinks in. That was my moment.
Sorry, that was feelings. No, sorry.
But there's a lot there. Like, community is very important. That's one thing WoW does, and does very well, is that sense of community, which goes back into how I wish there were more tools available to find that community.
Right.
I think it would help a lot of people. Like, we are in a generation now where, like, this is like, you game, you have the internet, you have PCs. If you're not a gamer, you know what the internet is. Like, I grew up in a small town on dial-up, but I didn't get dial-up until I was like 14. So like, that wasn't a thing. I didn't play World of Warcraft until I was 18, and I'm still here, damn it, at 60 years old. You know, like, what?
Grandpa's still making it.
I look good.
You're
for
60?
A hair flip.
Wait, for real?
So, my next question for all you
No,
gorgeous
they're not real.
beans. Of all the WoW you've played, all of it, what is one thing you wish going into the War Within was either still there, or they would like change for something? What is that one thing in WoW that, like, if they could give this to you in your version of WoW, in your game, you would be tickled pink? Like, what is it? What is that one thing?
I want to buy all the armor appearances from the raids, like the bullions, like how you can buy the weapon transmogs and stuff. I want that from the very beginning. Like, let me buy the appearances, like, to unlock them. I don't really care about the player power. Like, I get my power, I'm fine. But I want to be able to, like, complete the sets easily. That's what I want.
So to piggyback rather on that, do you think if there was a currency you could get, like when a raid is no longer current, as an example, if there was a currency you could get to buy those sets, that way if they don't drop for you, you're still getting like a fail-safe? Is that something that you would be into?
Absolutely. I love deterministic loot, you know? I put in the time and I put in the work to do the thing. I want to get the thing at the end of the thing. That's it. It doesn't make me feel worse like when it drops randomly for you and you don't have to spend any money, you're like, oh shit, yeah, I got this thing. And then when you buy the thing because you saved up over time to get the thing, you're also like, oh shit, I could buy the thing. It's the exact same feeling. And the idea that like it's not is one of the I think that's probably like the most annoying thing about WoW. Like this idea that like players won't feel a sense of accomplishment unless it was RNG given to them. And I'm like, do people really want Titan forging and like Azerite armor to drop with like extra stats on it, or do they really want the to drop or to be able to buy the thing? They want to just like have the thing on, you know? Like that's just I don't know. That's how I feel.
Fair.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that because to me, there's nothing more upsetting than me to keep trying and like, I'll do it 100 times, but then I'm like, all right, I'm done. Never mind. I'm over it. I hate doing things based on RNG.
Yeah.
It's just not for me.
I mean, also like all the Dragonflight sets on my priest, it's like bugging me that I don't have them completed because I'm missing the wrists.
Yeah.
From each set, because I'm like, who gives a fuck about wrists? Like,
You don't even see them. You
don't
don't
see
even
them.
see them most of the time.
And that's the only spot that makes sense to put your crafted embellishment slot on. So I've never, ever wanted a wrist. Ever. And so I'm like, oh, I guess it's my fault for not like catalyzing a wrist that dropped randomly or something. Like I should have, but like, oh, it sucks like having it it's like in my adventure journal. It's like you're one away from completing this. I'm like, bitch, if I could just like buy the damn wrists.
I just
so
want to
I
be
can
like, shut the
over it.
hell up. Like, leave me alone. I know that I don't have it. I have shitty luck. Leave me alone.
Exactly.
For me, I think the one thing that I want that I don't know is ever going to happen, but I would love for it to, is I want all races to be able to be all classes.
Yeah.
I want to be a Dark Iron Dwarf so damn bad, but I'm not giving up the Druid. So I'm going to be Coltiran for life until
That's
they change that up.
Fair and valid.
And delete racials.
So well, that's part of my. So I was gonna like, I would love to see 10-man raiding, but y'all know that already. So
Same. I love that. I want a 10-man raid.
Same. But I'd also like to see, like you can be any race you want, but you could also pick the racial you wanted.
Yeah.
I think that is such a good idea.
Like,
especially for people or mythic.
Or just
plus
turn them off in instant content. Like, if you're in a Mythic Plus, like racial imbalance should not be a thing. Like, turn that shit off. It doesn't make sense.
Well, and I know the argument is for racials, like it's such a small thing, but like that gnome frickin' racial is potato. Like it. Yeah. I love being a gnome, and I play gnome, and I'm like, that's it. I need to go dwarf right now to get rid of this fucking bleed because I keep dying, and like, and I did it.
And then you're dwarf for a week.
I was like a month, and then I switched back. I also really can you imagine if you could interchange those? Like, I like Void Elves. I like Astral Shift. I think Astral Shift, or whatever it's called, like the teleporting thing, is a super. It's good, but I don't think people realize how good it is.
It's the only thing that got me through Razageth on Heroic Prog as a priest. Like, I didn't have anybody fucking gripping me. I was like, I'm a Void Elf. Girl, because season one,
self-sufficient.
Pre-nerf, bitch. That was literally the only reason I didn't just get pushed off the platform. Like, every time. Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming that Quinn got DC'd. I've got a DM.
Quinn
really
is.
quick. Oh, they're back
in the waiting room.
Perfect.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like they sound insignificant, the racials, right? But like when you actually get down to it, some of them in certain contexts, in certain like mostly Mythic Plus, right, are so game changing.
Yeah.
Like in season 2 or 3, which one had a tall Jazar? Was that season 3 or season 2? Because that one and like having a night elf to shadow melt things has like it unlocks routes that you could never do without that ability.
It's
and
also
I don't think
a big
that's fair.
fail-safe.
Yeah, it's like not right. And the dwarf racial, like getting rid of these bleeds that otherwise are doing 600k damage a tick. Like, girl, like Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Like they should not. Like you should be able to play. It's a role playing game. That's why D&D went the route of like allowing you to play, especially Baldur's Gate 3, for example, one of the game of the fucking year, one of the best games that was ever made for RPG fans. They made it so that no matter what race you pick, your racials are just like more flavorful. They don't actually give you that much like player power, or like you can be an orc wizard if you want to, because you just want to fucking play an orc wizard, and you don't want to have like a -2 to your intelligence so that you don't cast spells well because you're an orc. Like, like it just doesn't. It takes the role playing out of the RPG, which I think is such a missed opportunity.
Fair. Welcome back, Quinn. I'm not sure if you heard the question.
I didn't hear the question, and oh my god, I am so sorry.
That's okay. This is a good question for you though. So I had asked if all of the WoW you've played, right? You've played a long time. Is there something you would like to see, or like what would make you like perfect? If there was one thing coming in an expansion that you wish was there or you'd like to see there, what would it be? Like what would just make your day?
Oh, gee whiz. So I think right out the jump, if there's anything that I would want to have, like this is like a dream, right? Or like this is just
anything you've played before that you would like to see. Like what was one thing you would really like to see in World of Warcraft? And like an expansion coming out. It could be something like they got rid of.
Or got rid of, or like environment change. I'm leaning into this just because I'm a lore nerd. I do not like Terrace Fall Glades outside of Undercity after Cataclysm. I miss the green. I miss the stank. I don't like these barriers and bars. Like I miss the patchouli. I miss just like being able to be out there, like because they used to put that on like the dead. You know what I mean? I miss the way that Silver Pine Forest, like all that part, like in the Eastern Kingdoms, when you Plague Lands was the stinky lands.
Yep. Rotten
Plague
flesh.
Lands was the stinky lands. Right. So I miss the way it used to look. I wish that there could be like light mode, dark mode, like we have on our browsers. That was just like, this is what it looked before. This is what it looked now. Stank mode. Because it makes me not want to be there. And I know that things change. I know that the story continues. I know all of that stuff. But I feel like I wouldn't be...
Like, can't you talk to an NPC and it changes you to a different timeline?
I think it's just Cataclysm versus BFA, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm talking about like classics. I play like lots of classics.
I didn't know if it would go back to like original classic or... okay.
Did it? Am I back? Am I here?
Yeah, we see you.
Oh my god, he did. Look at you.
Turned off the VHS camera.
Did we all break?
I got 30 seconds to show them that I actually did.
4K titties.
4K titties.
I'm screaming.
I see you, Victoria Monet. Victoria Monet. That's a good name.
I'm here. I paid my light bill. I've looked like this the whole time, just so you guys are aware.
It was probably me, honestly.
Gosh.
Yeah, you wanted to dim my light. You wanted to wait till I was a sweating fucking pig out here.
I didn't want to be a
all my motherfucking makeup. Shame.
So,
here, I got you.
For classic, that would be my thing. I would want that. When are we gonna play Chain together?
Oh my god, it's ASMR.
Can we play Chain together? Are we doing that today or another day? I want to play Chain together with y'all.
Oh my god.
Imagine.
With the lights on or off?
Oh my god, I'm screaming.
Oh.
Yes!
So
yeah.
That's a fair point, which kind of leads into my, I guess I'm going to your answer for this one. But out of all of the starting zones, this could be Exiles Reach included, what is your favorite starting zone currently? And do you think we're going to get any new starting zones for like the new dwarves that are coming out from the North End? Is there going to be a new one, or is it going to start in like Iron?
Fuck a dwarf. Eversong Woods.
Eversong Woods.
Wow,
Yes!
Eversong Woods. What do you mean? What is?
I'm a blood elf. Through and through and through and through and through and through. Love them to pieces. And I think the story and the vibes of that zone were immaculate because it was beautiful and fucked up. And that's what I liked about Blood Elves the most. Like, yes, they're the pretty Barbie race. Yeah. But really, I liked them because they were fucked up. Like, they were messed up. They were these mana-addicted, power-hungry, egotistical, snotty little nasty bitches that also had just experienced a great loss. And, like that was amazing to me. Like, you know,
sorry,
like,
are we talking about Mickey now? Or
well, I mean, Anubila Raw, bitch. Like, let's go.
There's something I will add to that. Like, that makes sense. But what Cell asked about, like, things that we could have changed, can we fly in Silver Moon City? Like, why can't we fly over there? Can we do that?
I don't think
Like,
they want you to
mounts?
see behind the curtains because there's probably like parts of the map that are just like real crazy and like not. They're like probably like the houses are like one flat plane, and if you flew, you'd see it's just like a sheet of paper. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they don't. I think in midnight they're gonna like revamp the city. That's what it sounds like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I feel like Silver Moon is like super dope for RP.
Yeah.
Like, that would be like the best RP spot, and we can't do anything there. No one goes there.
Fair.
All things serious though, I actually do like think that that's the coolest zone. Like, it really, the music and the vibe and the storytelling, the pacing
so
of it
good.
was really awesome because you really saw like heartfelt people who are like actually down to earth, and then you saw these people who are like, they're still partying. They're like nobles that are like, no, nothing's wrong, we're partying, but there's like slaughtered thousands and thousands of elves like across the way. So it's really cool to like see all that. Also, Cassie's all races should be able to be all classes. There are fucking blood elf druids in the starting zone. So there's literally like a whole section of blood elves that are like communing with the plants and the treants out there and nurturing nature. And I'm like, why can't blood elves be druids? Anyways,
fair.
It's like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing?
What
are you doing?
Check that lore out, bitch. Like, but yeah, what about you guys? I talked a lot, but I want to know your starting zones too. So let me shut up.
Quinn, are you the undead area?
Actually, my favorite starting zone is the troll zone for trolls.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and vanilla, because trolls and orcs are like, and I was like, oh, look at that brothership or sistership or just like green ship, whatever you want to call it. I don't know, but I love that. And I don't play it often because I'm a narcissist, so I want to feel like my
fair, valid.
The whiplash I got from that statement. I was like, "You're a what?"
I would. It's like, I like it, but it's like I want my story to be my own. And then we're gonna talk about like Kata outside of vanilla, like, or anything past Kata. I love the goblins.
Yes,
okay.
Bitch.
I love the little like the storylines. You're like in roller coasters and stuff, and it's like time is money. Like, I loved all of that.
I'm sorry, what was that? I didn't catch that. What was that?
That's my time is money, friends. You got it. We need it.
Yes.
I love it.
Like, that's funny.
Same. I need that as an alert, actually.
Quinn, goblin.
Somebody
cosplay
clip
went.
that.
Quinn, you gotta be a goblin main.
Kate just said, pretty sure we're gonna get a goblin city in the War Within.
Ooh, I love goblins.
They deserve. They deserve.
Yes. I need to make a goblin
Cassie,
character.
come on, shake things up.
I mean, I feel like anyone who knows me knows that I'm gonna pick Tierguard Sound with the Coltierans as my fave starting zone. I love Coltierans. I love Coltierans specifically because they are the only kind of plus size representation you get in World of Warcraft. I mean, dwarves are kind of a little bit thicker, but not as much as Colterians. And then also, once you get past Tier Guard Sound, once you get into Dressfar, that's my jam. I love Dressfar, the entire Waycrest storyline with the family. I eat it up.
Yes.
It's my favorite.
I love the Colterians.
I love that. So my favorite starting zone might surprise people.
Wow.
My favorite starting zone is the Torrens starting zone.
Wow.
Okay.
Uninstalling the internet right now. As we
I
speak.
I love the Torrens starting zone. Like I don't like the Torrens City, but I like all the questing involved in that first is one of my favorites. But then once you're like done at level 10, my go-to is the Ghostlands. I fucking love the Ghostlands. I like the Horde
Ghostlands are
starting
cool.
zones more than I like the Alliance.
Say that. Pack that fucking flag up.
I
Go
got
back
both!
in there.
I have both!
Rip that shit
Can we
off
get-
your wall.
Can we get a voice note of that? Can we get an
Horde.
alert? Can someone record that? Can you say it again? For the masses, can you
Say that with your
Sal?
whole chest.
Oh my
Go ahead.
God. I do like
Hey,
questing in
Horde,
Westfall
hey,
though.
Horde.
Except in
Don't
hardcore,
even-
that terrifies me.
It's too late. You can't walk that back. You can't gaslight us. You said it.
Hmm.
Sel is re-rolling to Cow for the War Within.
I was a
She has
Torrent.
found,
I
she
was
has
a
found the
Torrent
boo
druid
within,
for
bitch.
years.
She is out here and she's gonna be serving you milk and cream.
Ooh,
with your
I almost
cookies.
got the milk,
War
Kenny.
Within,
Squirt,
bitch.
squirt. I'm ready.
Sell milks. That's the new channel.
Not sell milk. That's my other channel. I cannot.
You can get
Oh.
milk cake.
Look, I'm
titties.
thirsty.
God,
Right
y'all
here,
are
bitch. Let's go.
wildin'.
Let me get that regrowth. Come on. Hold on.
I can't.
Hold up.
Oh.
Fill up my light well, bitch. Let's go.
Well, that's the turn, everybody.
Lord.
Well,
Well,
so now I'm going to ask y'all, do you have any questions or thoughts you want to bring up? Whether it's about World of Warcraft, your point of view in the WoW scenes, or anything we haven't touched base yet on?
I want to know why you aren't a Tauren.
Like right now?
Yeah. Like, why? I have only ever seen you play Alliance, other than the first time that I met Sal was when he was doing you lost a bet or your community raised money or something, and you were playing a Volpira.
Ugh.
And I remember how
Oh,
much you
yes.
hated it, and you were so angry about it. But I was like, I'm gonna stick around because I heard that he's a good healer, and so I stuck through it, baby. But why are you not a Tauren if you like Taurens?
So I do have a Valpyra, and that was my one and only time I've ever been on the front page of Twitch, and we are raising money. And that was one of the incentives. If we raised our money, I would race change to a Valpyra because I can't stand the Valpyra. I was a Tauren through Wrath. I was a Tauren through Kata, and I was even a Tauren through Mob. I had both because I would do gold making on both. I like aesthetically Night Elves more than Tauren. I don't like the lack of Mog you can do on the animal race. I don't like the animal humanoids, but I like the zone. That's probably why I'm not a Tauren, because I don't like the werewolves. I don't like the cows. I don't like the rats with fluffy tails. I don't mind Draenei, but I don't like that they've got the old hooves. You know, I already see Mickey's feet. I don't gotta see a Draenei's feet too. They're the same damn thing. So, you know. Yes, I think that's why. I do like I do have one cute Tauren left, and it's a character that Kate made, and she's cute. And like in
Let's
hardcore,
play her.
Well,
What
she's
is
level
she?
2
Oh,
or
not
something.
hardcore.
But I was
Not
doing a
hardcore.
hardcore with Chewy. We were doing hardcore druids together as well. Or Taurens. I enjoy that zone. Like I would run there on my gnome and quest there if I could. It's just
Mulgore.
it's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty. It's open.
It is pretty.
Like once you leave there, you're in the desert. It's like okay, I'm bored. But like that little, it reminds me. There's a cartoon movie with like talking cows and stuff. But like the play, I can't know what it's called. But the place is there's a bull or something. Anyways, the farm was called Little Patch of Heaven. our little patch of paradise.
Oh shit, bitch! I know what you're talking about. With like the cows, they're trying to save their owner or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Maybell is one of them.
Yes.
Like these like nice ladies.
I can't
like these nice ladies. God,
But
I don't know
that
either.
is like.
I'm gonna look it up.
I'm back. I don't know. I don't even know the title. I can't even say the yes.
I'm gonna
No,
find
I don't
it.
know. But
You got it.
that little aesthetic of being like, there's this one spot that is just peaceful and beautiful. Like, I love that. It kind of reminds me of home, if that makes any sense. I don't know. That's just like my zone. I can chill out. I like the music there as well. Very much.
It's called Home on the Range.
Home on the range.
Yeah,
Home,
with like the cute
peaceful.
3 cows, like the 3 ladies. Yeah, they were like lady cows. Yeah.
Yes. So if Empress, you might not know this, but I grew up on a farm until I was 18. Like I'm a little farm kid. I just got blurry again, son of a doodle bug.
I stole it.
And I'm trying to actually move back out to the country and have a small hobby farm, and my stream is going to be changing, where I'll be streaming IRL as well as World of Warcraft. I want to stream my animals. So growing up, I was a queer kid in a small farm town, and I didn't have any friends. Like, my friends were my animals in the barn. I'd go to school, I would come back, and I would spend hours in the barn with my goats and my donkeys and my horses and my rabbits. That was my life. And then I moved to the city. I became a hoe. It was fine. But I'm at a point in my life now where I miss that. And I enjoy going out to the farm now because I get a disconnect from the internet, actually. And I enjoy the internet, but there are some times I want that quiet, just sit in the straw, watch my goats walk around, watch the kids play. Like, that's just like, I miss that. And that's the feeling and the vibe I get when I'm in, like, the Torren area. I just feel, like, serene. I guess that's the word I want to say.
It's so funny that you pretend like you like animals and yet you fucking hate every animal race in World of Warcraft. Okay, wake that up. Let's see.
So my animals in real life are walking on all
like
fours.
Animals.
And I don't dress my animals up in little coats.
Well, girl, if you go to the back of the Goldshire Inn, you can see it.
Oh my god, y'all!
Oh my!
Well,
God.
ain't that something? Ain't that something?
That sounds really amazing. I hope you get that dream, girl.
I hope so too.
I want to come visit you on the farm.
I'm ready. Don't worry. Then we'll get some milking, and we'll see.
I'm not fucking doing any chores though. I'll tell you that much.
You would be the chore, bitch.
I'm not doing it.
I need you to go
champagne.
all like that up, just all dressed up,
in
all
drag, and
up.
just get chased by his goats. Like they're trying to eat my wig. I'm like,
I'm ready.
Yeah, I can see that. That'd be fun. I'm down.
So I talked about this the other day on my stream, and it's a world. It's not War Within specific, but it is about who we are as people and like what happened to me in game. And I'm just curious if anyone else has had any kind of overlap, or similarities with this. So I have played World of Warcraft, like I said, since Wrath of the Lich King, and I have been the guild leader of Tilted Halos since Wrath of the Lich King. So that was Wrath, all of them. And it wasn't until after WoD is when, like, you could turn, I think it was in Legion, you could turn PvP on or off, right? And I love world PvP. Like, ooh, let me get on that priest. I'm gonna make a bitch cry. Come for me. I'll wreck your DPS. I ain't scared of you. I'm ready. I'm also over 2003s, but that's besides the point. Okay, so back to my moment. Before that, I've always advertised Tilted Halos as LGBTQ plus friendly, and as well as safe for women. Like everybody's included. And I used to get trolled from the forums to in-game mail. I received death threats in-game mail. And the worst part was when Warlords came out, that expansion, there was a bounty on my head. I couldn't even level in the expansion for about a week because people were camp my body because I was the gay guy, the only Alliance guild on Bleeding Hollow. I was
famous.
Oh my gosh.
Have you ever had a hateful experience in World of Warcraft because of who you are? Maybe they found your stream. Maybe you told somebody who you were, non-binary, queer, Black, BIPOC, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever had a bad experience? And how did you cope with that? Like, do you have any advice for somebody that may have gone through it or is going through something similar now?
I'll tap into this one, because World of Warcraft, as much as I love this game and I love Azeroth and everything I've been playing forever. The first time we talked about asking advice or asking help for things, the first time I ever asked for advice and wow, or I would go in a trade chat or whatever, I wasn't getting that. And I was Burning Crusade. And I went to MySpace because MySpace had forums back then, and I was like, oh my gosh, we are stuck on this fight in Black Temple. And I was just like, I want to be able to like take that stuff back to my guild to help them. And I went on MySpace and was like, hey y'all, this is the WoW thread, this forum. And immediately tell this story on my stream all the time. People just like went through my MySpace, started taking pictures of me, and were just being racist. Like they just started making racist memes of me, telling me I look like Mike Tyson, like just saying the most racist shit you could ever say to like a black femme, and not answering my question. And it radicalized me. It definitely did, because I was just like, this is what it's like, right? Like this space, this community, where do I go? Like, and pre-Reddit, you know what I mean? Like, where do I go to find help for this? This is like the infancy of YouTube, where people were like posting videos and like stuff for like raid fights or like teaching you how to get through shit. Like I was just trying to do what I could to support my guild. And my advice would be like to shut it down. You know what I mean? Like as soon as I saw that happening, like it still sticks with me. Like that's what like no one answered my question, no one helped me, no one supported me. They just turned me into memes, racist memes at that. And just keep trying to fight. Like that's why I don't get too hung up on getting stuck in a fight. Like I will go time, considering time, like, you know, if there's like space and time and like, okay, I got like a couple hours to spare, it's late, like, and I'm with these people who are also committed and respect me, and that's what a guild should be, where you should feel safe and respected in that, I'll keep going. But when I was like 17, 16, and that happened to me, I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. You know, like, fuck this. Like, I know that there's people here for me, and we'll learn. We'll learn. That's what it's about. We're going to play the game. But there's like this whole thing. There's like this whole generation of gamers who think there has to be a Konami code for everything. And we can just help each other. So I don't know. That was the point for me. And look at me, I'm still here, and I know you people, and we're gaming and we're doing this, and that's like decades ago, and here we are, you know, and we are representatives for this game, for this space, and we're the best parts of it because we know what it feels like to be discriminated upon, and we still have fun and enjoy this universe that exists.
Absolutely. And kudos to you for that,
say.
like staying through it. Like that's a really traumatic and awful experience, but the world's a better place for you still playing this game and being present and being like a face that we can put to. Like there's people that gives strength to, you know, like they look and they see, oh, there's this person named Quinn. They're like, oh shit, like I'm not the only black person and the person who likes World of Warcraft, as an example. And I think that can be very encouraging and amazing.
Definitely representation matters. And I think the more that we stick with it and the more vocal we are that we're here and we're sticking around, regardless of what you say, regardless of how, you know, I'm going to leave your group because you're being an asshole, but I'm still going to be in WoW. Like, I'm still doing this.
Yep. I still have more IO than you too.
I'm also better.
Not that it matters. Not that it matters. Like you don't have to be, you know, like you don't have to be a title holder to have value and purpose. But still, it is nice to know. Like some of the most hateful people are like, "You're a fucking asshole at this game." It's like, shut up and play it. Like, it's like Also, like even if they are like have a higher score, my character looks better than yours.
Fair.
So like like yeah, I don't know.
Mm.
It's the little things
Yeah.
that it's just the little things for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel that.
Either thing for Cassie or Mickey. Have you
We
ever
outlive
had
MySpace.
leave my space?
No, I will say like I only stream pretty casually, so like I know I put myself out here to be like a vulnerable position, but fortunately I haven't had like trolls and I'm it goes back to what I was saying about like cultivating your space. Like I don't fucking tolerate and I don't make time or give space to people that I don't want to be around. Like that like I'm really blessed and privileged in that way that I'm just like I came into WoW a little bit later. I've been a gamer forever, but came into WoW like Shadowlands. So I immediately found gay guilds and queer guilds and just spent my time with them. Like I was like, I'm like, whenever I'm like signing up for something, if they're like, join the Discord, I'm just kind of like, how badly do I really want to be in that raid? Because I know I'm about to join this Discord.
I don't.
If they come fucking sideways at me, bitch, they're gonna get these nails because they do more than sparkle. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I was like, am I trying to start a fight right now with some fucking like incels on the internet? Like, sorry, I can't probably say that, but so luckily, like, I spend my time with people like you guys, and I play the game with y'all, and I play the game with my people that I curate that community for myself, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not interested in playing the game with anybody else because it's like it's my money and my time, and I'm gonna use it for people that are good people that of all different walks. I have plenty of straight friends. Like I play World of Warcraft with straight people. We make jokes. We're nasty. We're wild. I talk but I also am like, how's your wife? Like, like cool. Like you're a person who plays WoW and you're not racist. It's crazy that we even need to say that. Like, you know what I mean? Because I'm like, the bar's in hell. Like, you're just like a regular person. You're not racist or bigoted towards women or homophobic. Like, that seems like pretty default to me to just like be normal. But you'd be surprised. So I don't know. You sense it with people, and I don't know. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to rant about that.
No, go for it.
No, I
Like,
think
Oh,
that's
that was
100% true.
perfect. It's
Yeah.
so perfect.
Yeah, there's a lot of really awesome people out here of all different walks of life that are amazing. And when you find them, stick with them, play the damn game with them, and just like you'll never have to worry because like nobody can even touch you because you're like, I have this whole community of people that I'm around, like, and they can log into the game just the same as everybody else. So like, there's no, yeah, it's like your time is sacred. So.
Fair.
Yeah, I think it's all about curating your space because I mean, even the most trollish behavior that I've gotten on Twitch, and then trying to come into the game or something like that at me. It's not, I'm curating my space. I'm blocking them. I'm not engaging with it. It's like, okay, that's cool. Goodbye. Like, you're going to have to find someone else who cares because I don't have the time or the patience for that. So,
yeah. And that's awesome. And I think that is the biggest take home message. Like, you 100%, like, you need to, no matter what it is, like, if someone is harassing you in a video game or like on Twitch, if you're a streamer, beef the security up a little bit. And that's easy for me to say, and I recognize that as well. But yeah, like, if someone is going to come in hateful, ban. If you're playing a game and they're going to attack you, block, report. I cannot stress this enough. If somebody in World of Warcraft is like hateful or just a fucking giant floppy flaccid dick, report them.
Block, report
them.
They'll be out.
Not just block, you need to report them. Because I know
report.
as somebody who works, I don't work with Blizzard, but I'm familiar with Blizzard people. I know people will get banned. People have been banned for less. I do think that the banning needs to be harsher. Like, if you can say a hateful word, whether it's something transphobic or homophobic or racist, if you could, we all know the dirty words, right? We've lived. If someone can type that to you and you report them, it shouldn't be, you have a 2-hour ban. Hit them where it hurts, because we're all nerds and we'll be pissed off if you're out of a game for a couple weeks. Here's a 2-week ban. Learn.
Yeah. No,
Learn your
definitely.
lesson. Next
Hit 'em
time,
where it hurts.
here's a month.
You got
Like-
a 2-hour ban, and we're telling your mom.
Literally.
Nah, period.
Oh.
Yes.
You're so right. I mean, and I agree with that because, you know, especially considering where we're at, like, what Blizzard, like all the world, is like taking a much more aggressive stance on inclusivity and representation. And with that comes also defending the spaces that you're creating. You're so
Period.
right. Because it's like, I mean, Faye Rin came out, a badass looking new character, unrelated to anything, basically. And because she's a black woman, like, haha, all of a sudden all the comments are crazy. And it's like, I mean, you know, remember that, like, most people are totally normal about her. Most people, the majority of people who play WoW are like, oh, cool. Ding, that's it. And but like it's the minority of like really vocal racists that are like acting crazy. But
It's
I'm like,
why
but Blizzard
is
get in there and
WoW
clean up
so
shop.
woke?
Yeah,
They're
like
like, why is WoW so woke now?
like what? Like why black? Question mark. Why black?
Why black?
That's basically what it amounts to. And you're like, girl, the fuck that you had the audacity to say that. That's what it is. Well, you know what I mean?
And I
Like,
don't
why
care.
beat around the bush?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what they're saying. Like, it's like, just speak with your fucking chest if you're gonna be weird. But in response, Blizzard, it's like, when you see people acting like this, remove them. Is their money really that worth it? Because you'll make more customers by making aggressive stances against this for what's right than you will if you just like take that troll's money. Like, they can hand it. They can lose it.
They
Literally.
can handle it.
And like, if
When
it
you
was
were
a
saying
harsher...
that, oh,
No, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
well, I was gonna say about the whole troll thing. Sometimes like my heart breaks about the people who stopped playing. Right?
Yeah.
I wonder if like the people who have all the power to like make all these tools to make folks safer. My heart breaks about the people who are like, no, this ain't it. This isn't for me. Blah blah blah. Like they're not gonna do it. They're not gonna play. They're not gonna tap in. Whatever it may be, because of the lack of support.
Yeah.
There's so many times when all of us as marginalized individuals could have just been like, I don't know if I'm gonna play this game because this is like they're wilding out here, and
Yeah.
but we come back. And I think about those people, and I hope to be a representative in this stream team too, like representatives of people who are like, hey, listen, if you need a safe place, we're here. If you need, like, we got that. We got you. We will advocate for you. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Anyways,
Go teamwork.
No,
We love
fuck
teamwork.
troll money.
We love teamwork.
Well, that's the thing too. Like, if somebody gets banned for being a piece of trash garbage, if they're that invested in World of Warcraft, they're gonna buy the game anyways. You'll probably make more money off those people.
Yeah. Girl.
So just do it. Like, if you're gonna ban people from Overwatch for saying shit, like, surely to God, you can ban these people that are being phobic out the asshole. You know what I mean? Like,
No, definitely.
make it make sense, bitch.
Definitely. Because, like, the players in the community shouldn't have to fight those battles.
No.
That should be, like, the companies fighting that battle. Like, hey, like, we don't talk like that here. We don't do that. Like,
And
that's not
especially
needed.
now,
Not necessary.
with Blizzard being Microsoft, like, you don't tell me you ain't got the manpower. Don't tell me.
You know, I actually have to say, I think
You want
that's
my
because
game
of-
money? I got game
You
money
want-
for you.
Period.
You want my rainbow dollars?
I would say, I think,
You
like,
want my
being
rainbow
Microsoft being such
coins?
a large company, I think we're gonna see more aggressive changes like that, actually, because these large companies, they're capitalism incarnate. So they're like, and also like, I mean, it's just, yeah, like you lose money by being racist. Surprise! That's just like that's not how it is. And so these game companies these bigger companies take much more aggressive stances against it, which is really important. Whether it's performative or not, it's still like you're making a space. The characters are included, and that's it. And like, and then the people are the community is also defended. That's all that really matters. Like,
Right.
you know.
Do any of you all pet battle?
I did it once. I did the intro starting of the whole like become a pet battler like once. I did like the first like 6 quests. And Quinn,
Are you a pet battler?
Quinn?
Quinn?
No, I'm not. That's why I'm hiding myself.
I don't believe.
No, I never once had a pet. I'm just gonna say that.
Period.
I ain't never had a pet.
Oh my god.
I'll be a pet.
Cassie, do you?
What are
pet-
you-
Oh, okay, listen.
No.
All right.
Oh my god. Look at Mickey though. They would be such a
Can I
cute little
return
like
that?
rabbit.
Do I send that back to Amazon?
Oh. Oh.
So I don't pet
my
battle. I
God.
have like when you need like the rep for the quests or whatever early on, but like
Oh, yeah.
not all. And I like pets, but I like them just strictly cosmetics. Like I don't
Yes.
care with the rest of it. And I don't know how much time is invested into pets, but like
Not a lot.
I wish they could do something more with it. Like if they're gonna send it, like full send
Yeah.
it. Like do something
agree.
with it.
It would be cool. It'd be cool. I think the idea of it is cool because it makes you like get more attached to the pets you have, and they actually have a purpose. You know, like that's kind of neat. But it's also like I don't know. I don't think it's content for me. I think it's just content for. I think there's a certain kind of player
For
that it
sure.
appeals to who's like a little bit more casual and is like, I have lots of time to kill. I got all the things. I'm an achievement hunter, or I'm doing like that, and like they want something to break it up, but they don't want it to be like jumping into a plus 13 mythic plus. They're like, absolutely fucking not, kill me, delete my account. But they're like, okay, I'll go battle some snakes.
You know,
I'll
so
go-
the battling, Empress just said, pet battle tournaments win. Give me gym battles. Like, that could
Oh.
totally appeal to, I know a lot of people like them Pokemons. So, like,
Yeah.
I feel like...
The intro quest, like you fight trainers.
Boomer
like pet
Cell
tamers.
here. With the damn Pokemons. All right.
Love them.
Pokemans.
Them Pokebros.
Pokemans.
Listen, I was just pluralizing it. But I feel like that would be a big audience for a lot of people.
I don't think it'd be a big audience for a lot of people.
I'm
I think
just
it'd be
saying-
an audience for some people.
Well,
I don't know about a lot of people. I don't know.
Imagine like all these big dungeons and stuff. Can y'all copyright this for real?
What?
If there's any mods, clip this because this is gonna be the thing they're gonna steal from me. Imagine like going to like a big raid or a dungeon. And it's like, oh well, I don't want to go into the raid or the dungeon. You just go up there and you're like battling NPCs that are in the bottom. Like, hey, we are the folks at the bottom of King's Landing. You know, like just
Not the
like in
King's
this
Landing.
little like in the sewers,
You're just
like
out there
stuff
with the
like that.
rats.
That's content. That's storytelling. Because when you think about these dungeons, right? No matter what scale or raise, like there has to be people who are working.
Yeah, you're gonna clean
There's
up.
working class. Exactly. So what if you could like go through like a little back alley and just like
oh,
vibe with
am I 20
someone?
again?
I got these Pokemans. Stop it! Ah!
Well.
Yeah, I don't know. As long as they, I'm just happy that they don't have fucking. I hate when they have like tangible PVE rewards to the pet battling.
Yeah.
It's like you can give them coins or whatever they want, but like if I have like power attached to pet battles, like get away from me.
fair
Re-
and valid.
Reject, delete. Like don't make me do it because it's also kind of a lot. Like to like catch your I'm calling him Pokemon now. You fucking idiot. To catch your pets up to like the current expansion, like you have to level them all the way up through battling other pet tamers and pets, wild pets. And I'm like, I'm not trying to do all that. Like, no. So yeah.
I think I would, but I would have to follow like a strict guide. I need someone to handhold me through this. This is
I'll hold your hand.
I
I'll
know
hold
what to
your
do, but
hand.
I'll hold your hand.
oh
How many
I
hands
love
do you
y'all.
have?
I got one for both. But I tell my stream all the time, I am not a world content person. Anything that I need gear wise for Mythic Plus or rating, if I have to go out into the world to do it, it's a struggle. I have somebody in chat going, okay, now I need you to go to this person. I'm opening up my map. Okay, where? Tell me where. Please show me. So I can't get into pet battling.
the
I don't even
pin.
know where to start.
Drop
Literally,
it.
drop me a
Yeah.
pin. That's how
Mhm.
I'll do it.
I love that.
Fair and valid.
Send me your location. Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Cass, like
Focus
one
on
moment. On a visual
communication.
level.
Right, I'm ready. Hold on.
Ah,
Thank God we got that group DM already.
No, I'm screaming. Well, I feel like we had a lot of really good talking points today. So, do you have anything else that y'all want to add before we do like a little closing ceremony? I should have a lighter for a little closing ceremony, you know, but I don't got one.
Wow.
All right, well, y'all, I'm gonna do this really
later,
quick.
like
Oh, no, go ahead. What? I missed you.
I was gonna say free Palestine.
Oh,
And am I allowed to say that?
Period.
Here?
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Period. We'll stop. Free Palestine, y'all. Make sure you are like hitting that charity, like donate. Like everyone who donated, like that's where I was gonna go. Like that ass. Yes.
100%.
Right.
Super important.
I'm gonna give everybody here a shout out who's part of our little panel today. So starting with Quinn. Y'all, go follow Quinn immediately. They are ready to bring you all on. They say, come on, get in here. So go ahead, hit that follow. We'll wait. I'll give you a couple minutes. Go ahead, I will wait. We're also gonna go over and give out a big old shout out to Celestial Cassie, your druid, your dream. Get into them right now. Pop up in there, give a little love, a little hug. You know, make those memories. Go ahead, follow. Smash that follow button. Go ahead, we're waiting. It's perfect. We can skip me. Oh, just kidding. Let's get a go over and follow the drag queen of World of Warcraft, the Mickey Mirage. Ooh, thank God. I had a little shiny on my nose. Go ahead, do it again. Go give Mickey some love, y'all. Honestly, they're a whole hoot nanny. Get in there. Go on. Get in there.
Nanny.
Make sure you do it. Honestly, all three of these creators, they'll change your damn lives. That's just how fantastic they are. And as we end it all out, so last time we did a round table, we did 2 truths and a lie, and I was the only one who won. But we're gonna change it up this time. Instead, I want you each to tell chat one reason, the reason what pulled you into World of Warcraft to start. What was your, why did you start? Starting with, who wants to go first? Raise your hand.
Okay, I can go first.
Oh, thank God. I needed time to think.
So I had a roommate in college, and he insisted that we go to the midnight release of Cataclysm. And so I went thinking I'm a huge nerd, obviously, been a nerd, but I wasn't sure, and I played MMOs, but I wasn't sure that I was going to be a World of Warcraft nerd, because that's a whole nother level of something. That's, at the time, I had that misconceived notion. And so I sat in line. I'm just saying, I was a little nervous. I didn't know what to do, like pack some extra deodorant or something in my bag to go to this midnight release.
That's smart.
I went to the midnight release, and the line was just lovely little nerdy folks, just so excited and so heartfelt, and the emotions were high, and everyone was sweet. And I got the game, and I booted it up in little death wangs, little chicken wang on the front. He smashed up on Stormwind with his nails done, peering, halitosis just flowing out of him into the people of Stormwind, and I was like, I'm sad. I'm here. I'm now. My hairline receded at that moment. The fine lines deepened, and I grew a pair of glasses out of my forehead, and I was like, okay, here, I'm this person now. It's always been me. My real self came out, and I've been a nerd with y'all ever since. So, yeah.
I love that.
Hope that was
that was the best. Yeah. There was so much emotion in that story.
Yeah.
You should win an Oscar or a Grammy or something.
Is that true?
Yes.
Can you imagine if Mickey just made that up completely? On the spot was I can make up a story.
Definitely give the vibes. Look at you. You've never told a lie.
I'm a professional bullshitter. What can I say? That was
oh my God.
That wasn't real. That was real.
Well, Cassie, you're up. I'm throwing you in.
Oh my gosh. So I actually had, the way that I got into World of Warcraft was a friend of a friend worked at Blizzard and had free copies, and I was like, I'm broke. I love a new game. I'll take it. Because it came with the game and game time, a month of game time. And so then I started playing with another one of my friends who has already long since been in the game. And as a group, there were probably 5 or 6 of us. We all started together and we were playing. Um, and just the 2 of us have stuck it through. So shout out to Daniel. He was the one who got me into World of Warcraft and kept me the whole time.
Oh, okay. All right. Quinn, you're up.
All right, so boom. First of all, boom. So it was 1986, and my mom was pregnant with me.
Well,
Go on, go on.
And my mom and my dad were extras for Thriller, directed by John Landis. I don't know if y'all know that.
don't
But
know.
he did that. Okay, boom. And then I was there and I was like, this is crazy. I didn't like it. Like, it was scary. There was like werewolves. And then like a couple years later, my mom was like, I'm gonna make it up to you. And I'm gonna get you a computer. And we're gonna play video games on the computer because I don't want you to go outside because like your dad was eaten by a werewolf. True story. Facts. Like, because they had actual werewolves on that set because John Landis is out of control. Google John Landis. I swear. Google John Landis film sets. I am not
Wait,
lying
but weren't
to
you
y'all.
on the set when she was pregnant with you? How did you fucking see anything?
So anyways.
We will not be poking holes in this logic. We are.
I'm sorry.
Suspend
You're
your
right.
disbelief.
Picture it.
She looked through the navel. She had the
So
telescope.
anyways, I was born
They had
and
the
then
telescope
like
for
my dad was nowhere to be. Like, he was not there when I was born. My dad was not there, and then my mom was like, I'm gonna get you a computer or whatever, like talking to me and stuff, and like I got that. So my mom was pregnant with me for like 10 years, which is normal in America. And we were there and I'm like, what am I gonna play? So like I got Sims. So I'm like, no, I need people because I'm a werewolf baby. You know what I mean?
I know.
Like,
I'm
you
not
like
Gonna
the
have your
moon?
pack?
Yeah.
Oh, not
Well,
Cassie
like
with
the
the
moon and stuff.
pushing it up.
I'm a help.
Okay, well, I'm saying just like there's the moon, there's all these things. Like, so I was born and I was like, I can't do this. I can't play Sims. The Sims just aren't speaking to me. And I started playing WoW. And that was like 2005, 2006. And I just never looked back.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like, I just,
that was a great.
and I don't look at the moon. Yes.
That was a great.
And I
thank you.
rolled undead. I rolled undead because I could go to Shadowfang Keep where there was like all my cousins just out there.
They were doing. What's your cousins doing those kind of noises? Now, are you from Texas?
Exactly.
Ah!
That's what my mom approved me.
Not
playing
the
WoW, 'cause
Texans!
She knew
Which
I
is
was a
normal in America.
werewolf. So normal.
I
Wow.
scream.
So
Well,
there we go.
That's a
Wow.
wonderful story.
I believe it.
I started playing WoW for a boy. He wanted me to play World of Warcraft with him. I was just starting to see him, and I went to the Walmart, and I had to.
Did you go buy it on the little card?
No, you had to buy like it was like a big
Box.
box, and it had like the
Oh
Frozen
my
Throne,
God.
BC, and there was one
The
more.
vault.
Like, I guess vanilla, the original TBC.
Mhm.
So I bought the box and I pulled out my phone and I pretended I was on the phone and I was like, "Oh, are you sure this is the game he wants? I have to buy my cousin this stupid nerd game," and I pretended I was buying this game for a child. So I walked out of the like, electronic part or whatever, and I went to like the checkout, and I did it again in front of the checkout lady because I was so scared these people were gonna know I was a nerd playing this game for this dude. I went home and I put the first disc in, the second disc in, the third disc in to download it all. And there was this little book that came with it. And then I put the wrong code, and I had to call Blizzard because I put like each disc had like an activation code on the back, and I put the wrong code in the wrong one. Then I had to call Blizzard. Like, why did I do this wrong? And I talked to an actual person because at that time, Blizzard customer support was a number you phoned. It wasn't an automated online thing. You had to call that shit in.
You gotta fax them.
And I made a Blood Elf Hunter as my first character because he was Horde. So
Period.
I was a Horde to start. And then I deleted her with my Blizzard Bear pet. And I never got that pet back. Because at that time, the pets didn't go into your account. You had to carry them in your bag. So I deleted it. And then I made a priest. And I have been a holy priest basically since. It was the battle chest, Daniel! True. True.
Can you please save us? Please save my soul.
Because you're a priest.
Oh, I was
silly.
like, this ain't that kind of stream.
I was watching Cell's poor little brain just
Yeah,
like,
it was like not going in.
Save me. Save my soul.
Well, I rebuke shame. Listen, you pull up
Lord.
the Game of Thrones reference. Where's my bell? I got a phone. Shame.
Period.
Shame. Shame.
Oh my Lanta. Well, I think that's gonna be it for our little show today. But Cassie, Quinn, and Mickey, thank you all so much for joining me today. This was a great talk, and I hope that everybody in chat was living for this memory. And I just want to say, as a closing note, I want everyone to remember, no matter who you are, or as Mickey said, what walk of life you've come from, there are people that are playing World of Warcraft that are more than just cis, white, straight men. You will find your community out there. It might take some digging, but we're out there. We exist. You can find us on Twitch, Twitter, Discords. We're everywhere. And if you need somebody, we're here. And I know my mission on this platform, in this game category, I will never stop voicing and being a voice for members of the queer community. That is my mission. And if people don't like that, they can kiss the fattest part of my ass, because I'm here for all y'all. Period.
You saved that part for me.
Oh, well, I'm ready. Y'all, thank you so much. And I think we're going to go and we're going to raid out then. Y'all want to see?
Okay.
Do we have a team member who's on that we could go give a little bit of like loves and hugs and butts to?